She's off. The corner shop is in sight. The National Lottery sign is there, and she's heading right for it. Look at Rebecca. She's making a real difference just by playing the National Lottery. Her numbers help fund Team GB and Paralympics GB athletes, powering their journey to Paris, one ticket at a time. Oh, just look at her go! Unbelievable stuff! Changing lives like it's a walk to the shops.
The National Lottery, changing lives every day. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
For fans of football and unmissable shows, get Sky Sports and Sky TV in Ultra HD and Netflix all for our lowest price. Hurry, the Premier League starts soon. Go to sky.com. Require Sky Sports, Sky Ultimate TV and UHD for £43 a month on a 24-month contract with a minimum broadband speed of 25 megabits per second. New Sky TV customers only, 18 plus, terms apply.
The Clyde One Super Scoreboard Podcast.
With Lucas Volvo. Looking to sell your Volvo? Contact them today for a no-obligation quotation.
It's game day, and this is the home of Scottish football. It's Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Good afternoon and welcome to Clyde One Super Scoreboard as the new Scottish Premiership season gets underway. Hearts and Rangers will raise the curtain on the 2024-25 campaign before Ross County at Motherwell join in later. Champion Celtic get underway against Kilmarnock tomorrow, along with St Mirren Hibs and the return of the Dundee Derby, and St Johnstone Aberdeen round things off. But before then, the lower leagues get their seasons up and running as well, and we cannot wait for it. I'm Gordon Duncan, in the company for the first time this season. What a trio. Gordon Dalziel, Mark Wilson and Hugh Keevins.
Mickey Campbell got in touch. He said that you three had moved to Germany, but you'd always wondered what happened to me and you were searching for me. And then Davina McCall came round and she showed me a photograph of you three, and I said, do they want to meet me? And she said, yes they do. And she drove me here this morning, and here we are, reunited, a long-lost family, on the day that Rangers are going for a long-lost title. 3 years without being champions, and the journey begins at Tynecastle. Follow that!
I thought he'd fully lost the plot before the season had even started, which made me worry about how things were going to go between now and May. But we're back together, Mark Wilson, and honestly, genuinely, not for dramatic effect, how good does it feel to be staring down the barrel of a new league season in Scotland?
Yeah, fantastic. And we have missed you, but not as much as we've missed our domestic football. It's been a good summer of international football, but we are here for our domestic game. It was exciting last season. There was so many twists and turns. There was so many managerial departures and others brought in. And this season will be no different. It'll be exciting straight from the off. What a game we've got to start at Tynecastle. Every game between Rangers, Hearts, or Celtic and Hearts at Tynecastle are crackers, and we hope this afternoon's no different.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think the boys have summed it up perfectly, Gordon. I think everybody has been looking forward, especially this week with the big build up. We're talking about transfer, we're talking about ins and outs, we're talking about who's going to hit the ground running, and we've certainly got a cracker to start a Premier League.
Strap yourself in, because for the next 10 months you are guaranteed drama, you're guaranteed excitement, you're guaranteed controversy, disagreements, fallouts, everything that Scottish football specialises in, and it all starts once again right here. Today we're here until 6 o'clock. We'll cover all the action. We'll of course give you the chance to have your say on the phones. We'll do it again tomorrow, and then we really get stuck back in to finding out how everyone's feeling about their team going forward. You can stay in touch all afternoon on Twitter at Clyde SSB. It's predictions day as well for the pundits. I'll ridicule them, no doubt. You can join in, and I'll be looking for your predictions as well. But there is only one place to start. Hearts against Rangers is the type of fixture you look out for at any time in the calendar, never mind on the opening day. Let's go there right now to the capital. Gabriel has the teams.
Yes, Gordon, good afternoon from Edinburgh. The memories of last season, the pain of the Euros, have faded into the distance. We are ready to do it all again. Yes, the football is back, and as you say, what a start to the Premiership we have here. We begin with a bang. Hearts against Rangers, two of the best going at it from the off. So much to talk about in so little time. Let's start with Rangers. The board have showed their faith in Philippe Clement with that contract extension, but outside of the manager, it's been a summer of change at Ibrox. Big departures: Connor Goldson, John Lundstrom, Ryan Jack, Borna Barisic, amongst others, all leaving. They've brought 7 new players in so far, but only one of them starts today. Connor Barron, brought in from Aberdeen on a free transfer, plays in the middle of the park. And despite heavy speculation, captain James Tavernier does start at right back, and as things stand, looks set to stay this year. So let's have a look at the first Rangers team of the campaign then. It's Jack Butland in goal, a defence of James Tavernier, John Suter, Ben Davis and Ridvan Yilmaz. Mohamed Diamande and Connor Barron will be at the base of midfield, with Tom Lawrence just in front of them. It's Scott Wright that starts on the right wing, Oscar Cortez on the left, and it's Cyril Dessers who leads the line. 3 new boys amongst the subs as well, like Liam Kelly, Jefty, Václav Cherny. You've also got Rabi Matondo, Dowell, Balogun, King, McKinnon and Danilo. And no place for Robin Proper yet. Gordon, the experienced Dutch centre-back, brought in as Galton's replacement, not here in time, whilst Todd Cantwell is excluded altogether. You just look at that team, it really looks like the side from last season. I'm not sure that's what Clement had in mind at the start of the summer. Anyway, how about the hosts? It was a great year for Stephen Naismith and his Jambos last season. They cruised to a 3rd place finish, reached Hampden a couple of times as well, but they want to improve, and that all starts today. Naismith has highlighted trying to beat the Big Two as the next step for his side, and he's made some shrewd signings in an attempt to bridge that gap. 3 of them start today. The defenders James Penrice and Gerald Taylor are joined by former Ross County star Jan Danda. Looks like it'll be a 4-2-3-1 for the Jambos. Xander Clark in goal. Defence of Gerald Taylor, Frankie Kent, Kai Rolls and James Penrice. Cammy Devlin and George Grant are at the base of midfield. And it'll be a 3 of Jan Danda, Barry Mackay and Kenneth Vargas behind captain Lawrence Shankland, who, despite all interest, namely from today's opposition, remains here at Tynecastle. Substitutes: Gordon, Kingsley, Halkett, Oyegoki, Oda, Spittle, Forrest, Boyce and Malaki Boateng, whose signing was confirmed just an hour ago. Just look at that strength in depth Hearts now boast, with big players who can make an impact coming on. It's all set up nicely here, Gordon. Surely a cracker in store. The referee will be Nick Walsh and the VAR, Andrew Dallas.
What a way to kick off the season, Hugh Keevins. It's not that we guarantee a sort of high quality free flowing football match, but second against third or third against second from last season, 2 of our bigger clubs, loads of talking points at one of our finest footballing venues. You could barely have asked for a better start.
No, and it's a real test of Philippe Clement and his newly extended contract. Rangers have shown tremendous faith in Clement. Clement has shown tremendous belief in Rangers. Now they both have to justify the decision taken regarding the new contract. 7 signings in the summertime, only one of them starts the match today. Both clubs, Hearts and Rangers, have had a terrible pre-season, not a win between them. And last weekend, Hearts going down 3-0 to the might of Fleetwood Town from the 4th tier of English football, while Rangers were conceding 4 goals in Berlin. I know they scored 4, but it's at the back that they have to concern themselves with today. And that's why it's going to be a fascinating opener. The old rules apply. Draws a disaster, defeats a catastrophe. They have to make sure that they don't incentivise Celtic tomorrow by dropping points at Tynecastle. What they have to do is get all 3 points, and history suggests they will get all 3 points, and make Celtic do a bit of work against Kilmarnock.
I think Philippe Clement, when he looks at the fixture, would have probably preferred an easier tie. And same with Stephen Naismith, if he's been honest, because he's had 7 goals at Rangers and not won one of them. But it's a new season. I'm sure him and Hearts will be full of optimism, and it's interesting to see the team lineups, a mixture of who's been there before with a little sprinkling of some new signings. And Hearts have brought in Taylor and they've brought in Penrice, and they've got Danda in there who will be a real creative force, and they've got Spittle on the bench. And then for Rangers, Barron, I think Barron will make a difference. I think he's an upgrade in what was already at the club and how Philippe Clement wants to play. And I think Cortez is almost like a new player. I know we've seen glimpses of him, but I was impressed what I saw of him in those few games he played before he gets injured. So I think the Rangers fans will be optimistic about that. They've got a decent bench as well. And the start of the season always brings about excitement and optimism of how these players are going to actually perform. You know, pre-season's done and dusted. Hugh's right to highlight that both clubs have had a poor pre-season, shitting goals and not scoring nearly enough or not getting results. But that's all behind them now, and it's on to the serious stuff in half an hour's time.
Yeah, pre-season's all about that sharpness. Of course you want to get in good form. Both sides shipping goals, especially Rangers 4. They've got Shankland to face today. If Hearts can get that service, I'm looking at that Rangers side. I'm looking at the Hearts side today. I fancy Rangers strongly. I don't know what it is. I like the look of the front three. I think there's a bit of movement about there. Cortez, I was really impressed with him the other night. Wright seems to be one of these players that he's always there. You know, when you think that he's going to be shown the door, he's always there. And Dessers, his goal against Union Berlin was brilliant. That'll give him a lot of confidence. They've got a good midfield. Diamandi was absolutely brilliant. But obviously Vargas as well for Hearts. They're still a threat, but I fancy Rangers big time.
What a huge season and a huge afternoon ahead for Philippe Clement and Stephen Naismith, and we will hear from both managers next.
And she's off. The corner shop is in sight. The National Lottery sign is there, and she's heading right for it. Look at Rebecca. She's making a real difference just by playing the National Lottery. Her numbers help fund Team GB and Paralympics GB athletes, powering their journey to Paris one ticket at a time. Oh, just look at her go! Unbelievable stuff! Changing lives like it's a walk to the shops.
The National Lottery, changing lives every day. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Looking to get car or van insurance double quick? Go! To mustard.co.uk. With top insurance providers, a 5-minute pit stop with us could get you out in front in the race to savings. Car or van, work or play. Compare insurance with mustard.co.uk. T's and C's apply. Authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
For fans of football and unmissable shows, get Sky Sports and Sky TV in Ultra HD and Netflix all for our lowest price. Hurry, the Premier League starts soon. Go to sky.com. Require Sky Sports, Sky Ultimate TV and UHD for £43 a month on a 24-month contract with a minimum broadband speed of 25 megabits per second. New Sky TV customers only. 18 plus. Terms apply.
The team with the biggest support in Glasgow and the West. This is Clyde 1 Super Scoreboard.
Hugh Keevins, Mark Wilson and Gordon Dalziel are like three excited school children ahead of the new Scottish Premiership season. It is almost time at Tynecastle. The visitors, of course, Rangers, who will cause the first drama of the new season. We'll find out very soon. The men in control are Philippe Clement and Stephen Naismith. Let's hear from them. The home boss first, of course.
I think it is transition period for them when they've changed the manager mid-season. He's then had to do a lot of work over the summer, and from having conversations with him, he was somebody who was passionate about it and he understood the job that was in hand. So, but you can't get away that they're still a really good team. They're a team who have got players that are dangerous and who last season we get punished for our mistakes in games. That same threat's still there, but what I believe that we showed last season is we compete in these games now, and we'd look to probably pick up more points against Rangers than we did last season.
The last head-to-head was that 3-3 at the end of the season. Remember, it was a brilliant game. Stephen Naismith himself admitting the head-to-head record would have been a disappointment last season. But Hugh, you know, they were a comfortable third. They were easily the third best team in the country. So it'll be interesting to see how they back that up this season.
Well, in Jan Danda, they have signed a fine player from Ross County. In Shankland, they have the talk of the town because all summer long he's been linked with Rangers. I still remain of the belief that Philippe Clement is not interested in Lon Shankland, but today he has to get all of that out of his head and he has to be the player he was last season with the help of someone like Danda. They do look as if they could score, and at the back Rangers have looked all summer long as if that's where their main problems lie. So that's their one big hope. But I just have a feeling that Rangers' need is great today. Clement has made a tremendous song and dance about the new contract, how much he loves the city, the club, the fans, everything about Rangers, and the future he thinks is very, very bright indeed. He has to start showing it today, because from now until the 1st of September, when he plays Celtic at Celtic Park, nothing but hazards in front of Philippe Clement, domestically and in Europe. He has to make a positive start today.
On paper, it's been good for Hearts, Mark, because as things stand today, their main man, their best player, their captain, their top goal scorer is still there. Yes, Alex Cochrane has gone, but they've signed, it looks like they've added to the squad in terms of depth. Danda, Spittle, Penrice, all brought in, all know the league, all done early, all, you know, pre-contracts. These don't always work out. That's not to say these are definitely going to be good Hearts players, but in a sort of general, on paper sense, Hearts will be happy with where they are.
I think so. Obviously Cochrane, you know, you get that money from Civic as well.
And it looks like they're due to replace Cochrane in the coming days, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So replacing like for like is good, but then when you add at the top end of the pitch, it shows you where Stephen Naismith wants to take this team. They want to be more attacking and free flowing, and that's always what the Hearts fans want to see. And Stephen Naismith will be looking to take the next step. Now they finished comfortably in third, I think 12 points ahead of Kilmarnock, but he'll be looking to bridge a gap a wee bit and get closer to Rangers and Celtic. He finished 25 points behind Celtic, 17 behind Rangers, so he'll be looking to bridge that gap, and these home games are all important when you're trying to bridge a gap. Now he had a couple of goals at a good few goals at Rangers, and he got close, remember, at Ibrox. Did he go down to the 90th minute or something?
Penalty, wasn't it?
That's right. And so he got really close. So he certainly has the capabilities of pushing this Rangers side, but these home games at Tynecastle are going to be crucial, and if he gets off to a good start today, it sets him up nicely for the season ahead.
I agree with what the lads are saying. You look at that Hearts side, there's certainly goals in it with Shankland. Fargas can pitch in as well, let's not be kidded here. They've got good creative players in the middle of the park, but I just feel today that Rangers pitching up there, Yilmaz is a big one for them at left back. I think that's a plus for Rangers. Middle of the park, they've got a good balance in there with Barron, Lawrence, Diamandi, who has been excellent in pre-season, you've got to say. And we just wonder, what will we get off my favourite centre forward this afternoon, Cyril Dessers?
Let's hear from Philippe Clement.
I feel a lot of excitement this week, so I even had to stop some guys who are so excited that they were really into the tackles. That was not necessary at that moment. So no, there's a really good vibe in the building. I feel a really hungry squad to show themselves. We will see with the new players. And the rest of the team, who was already longer here, who were here already last season, they're very hungry. So I'm looking forward to them.
Suppose that last bit, this team may well kick off and go on to beat Hearts comfortably, and then everything will be rosy for the afternoon. But just generally speaking, if you're a Rangers fan heading into the new season, you probably hoped, after a disappointing campaign, you would rock up on day one with more than just Connor Barron as a summer recruit in your starting 11, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the Celtic fans are feeling the same way. Paulo Bernardo were the only outfield signing, and he was there last season anyway. But when the close season began, and when the Ibrox fiasco emerged, and the club unable to play there and having to move to Hampden, there was a feeling of real despondency among the Rangers supporters. I can't help but feel that that's day by day cleared, and the Rangers supporters are feeling better about where they are today than they did a few weeks ago. And I don't believe that they are pessimistic about Tynecastle, but I repeat, it has to start well for Rangers, because from the 3rd of August today until the 1st of September at Celtic Park, there are many hazards along the way, and Philippe Clement can't afford a dramatically bad start to the season.
Robin Proper is there, he's on the pitch, but he's not cleared in time to play. Václav Černý said yesterday he wasn't ready to start games, so it's not like we won't see new signings in the coming weeks, Gordon. I've just got one caller in particular last night. His voice was ringing in my mind, just saying it's just not been enough yet to get him fully excited for the start of the season.
No, and I can understand that, because you look at starting line-up, as much as Barnes, the new man in the block, Cortes come in early, get an injury, so we're looking to see what he's got to provide. I watched him in pre-season. I like the look of him, Gordon. But the big problem for Rangers in pre-season was certainly the two centre halves. Now, Golson's away, Proper has been brought in. I think that the minute they get him up to speed, he'll be in as a centre half.
I think he's up to speed. It's a paperwork
thing.
thing.
Well, I think he'll be in next week. I really do, depending how it goes today. Because I think that if Rangers have got a Achilles heel today, especially against that front line, they can lose goals.
Well, we're about to find out. You spend all summer speculating, debating, talking about who should sign and who'll be good and who won't, all the questions, and we start answering them with kick-off next.
The winning team all season long. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Here come the teams at Tynecastle. The new Scottish Premiership season is about to get underway. Gabriel's the eyewitness.
Yes, Gordon, the team's led out by their captains Lawrence Shankland and James Tavernier, two players whose futures are uncertain, but they know what they've got to do over the next 90 minutes. A massive game here at Tynecastle. Hearts against Rangers. It doesn't get much better than this. As we were saying there, poor pre-seasons for both of them. Neither won a game, but they'll expect to go up a few gears today. A 17-point gap separated these two teams last year. Stephen Naismith will be desperate to narrow that across the next 38 games. 6 meetings last season, Rangers won 5 of them. In fact, Hearts have not won this fixture in any of the last 15 meetings. Before the pandemic was their last victory. We spoke to Philippe Clement yesterday. He promised that it will be better come October, come November, come December this year, but he needs to deliver. Rangers know they have to start this season well if they are to mount a serious challenge and try and rip the Premiership trophy out of Celtic's grasp. The two teams just setting up now. Let's go through the starting 11s then. Xander Clark in goal for the hosts. A defence of Taylor, Kent, Rolls and Penrice. It'll be Devlin and Grant in front of them in midfield, with Danda, Mackay and Vargas behind Lawrence Shankland. The visitors, Rangers, wearing white and blue today. Only one new signing starts for them. Jack Butland will be in goal. James Tavernier, John Suter, Ben Davis and Ridvan Yilmaz are in defence. Mohamed Diamande and Conor Barron play in midfield with Tom Lawrence just in front of them. It's Scott Wright on the right-hand side. Oscar Cortez, he's like a new signing, he's on the left. And Cyril Dessers once again leads the line. Well, the atmosphere is picking up here, Gordon. Maroon packing out the seats around me. The question is, what can Hearts do this season? That's what they're thinking. Well, Rangers fans packed out to the right of me. Can they realistically win the title? Can they win it all? That's what they're asking. And we are about to find out, Gordon. The waiting is over. Football is back. Cammy Devlin stands over the ball. The referee, Nick Walsh, looks at his whistle. And we are underway here in the Premiership this season.
Clyde One Super Scoreboard. Goal flashes. With M&D Green Pharmacy. Planning your holiday? Get essential health advice and medication before you travel.
Oh, we're back. We are back. Hearts against Rangers is underway. The sun is shining in Scotland's capital, and hopefully the football delivers this afternoon. I always feel like whether you're a player, manager, referee, supporter, pundit, you should start the season as you mean to go on, and that for you three probably means a hopeless, incorrect match prediction. Take it away.
Hearts weren't good enough to beat Rangers in 6 attempts last season. Hearts haven't beaten Rangers for 4 years. For the so-called third force in Scottish football, that is pathetic, and it will continue today. Rangers to win by 2-0.
Don't know if there'll be much between the sides today. I'm going to go for Hearts 1, Rangers 1.
I'll go for a Rangers 1. I'll probably go 3-1.
There we go. Well, I might start, keeping a proper track of this. How long into the season will we have to go
right?
before any of you get one score line right? Let's set up a challenge and see how we get on, because you're not brilliant at it, I have to say. But an interesting spread there. Mark Wilson, the only one who fancies Hearts to get anything, albeit just 1 point. The other two going for a Rangers victory. So let's see how that pans out. It's Hearts doing the early attacking, and it's a fierce strike from the edge of the box from, obviously, Lawrence Shankland, but straight at Jack Butland.
Well,
well set up, yeah.
They want to get his eye in as quickly as possible. The Dazzler knows that as a former striker of high repute. after the season he had last time out, Gordon, he'll be desperate to get on the sheet.
Yeah, all strikers are the same, Hugh. You want to hit the ground running, you want to get that first goal, and then you can just build your confidence from there. But you've seen there, great technique. It's all a good pace to the game already. I know it's very early into the game, but both sides moving the ball about well. Hearts really pressing high up the pitch, not letting Rangers play out from the back. Obviously that's a tactic that he's looked at this afternoon. Very interesting.
Here's your useless piece of information, or your first useless piece of information of many throughout the season. Just as I saw Lawrence Shankland there, you know, the boffins at FIFA or IFAB, and they go away and they work really hard on big important rule changes that they make for the coming season. Do you know what the big one is, or one of them this season, is that the captain's armband must have a C on it.
Oh, right,
Don't
okay.
even think about wearing one that doesn't have a C on it. That's
did
the
they not
threat.
already? No,
Apparently
I've never
not.
noticed that.
Willie Collum gave a briefing over the summer. He explained it, but he did say he was quite relaxed about it. He wasn't too bothered. I don't think we'll see any major repercussions should a team somehow slip up. But there you go. It's in the rules, so we can try and hold everyone to it. Rangers with their first attack down the left. Hearts eventually snuffing it out.
Yeah, good play from Rangers. It looks like this is going to be an end-to-end game. I like the pace of
Nice
it.
snap judgment after 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just like the pace of it. I think that it's the opening game of the season. Everybody's hyper, everybody's up for it. Everybody wants that first goal. They want the win. They want that confidence coming off this pitch this afternoon. I'm really, and the sun is shining. I keep going back to it. Players love playing in the sunshine.
Last season it was the crowds. This season it's going to be the weather.
He always gets something in his mind and really sticks to it, doesn't he? It was the first piece of defending to be done for Gerald Taylor, Mark. It's an interesting piece of business for Hearts, purely because he's another Costa Rican. We don't have many, but Kenneth Vargas has come. It's obviously a market that Hearts are looking to exploit.
Yeah, you find out with managers that they get success in one area and they keep going back. We've seen it with Jim Goodwin as well, with Miofsky and a couple of the signings that he's got from that neck of the woods. But Taylor, you know, he's shown up well in pre-season. He did well, incredibly well there, 1v1 defending. So looks a decent signing so far for Hearts.
Free kick to Rangers, a crossing position. I say crossing, it's quite central, so need to be a bit of magic to find a bit of an angle on it and just look over the back post. Hearts defend that really well. That's what you want for your defender there, Kai Rolls, because he gets up early, flicks it away, waits for the contact, and it comes, and it's a free kick to Hearts. He's done everything right there, Mark Wilson.
Yeah, it's a hard one to defend when it's hung up and it's just begging for John Souttar to come over the top of you. You need to get up early first, and Rolls does that well, just flicks it away and gets a foul.
I thought Rangers would have maybe tried to keep that short a little bit. Just that ball at the back post, very difficult one. They're hoping Souttar will go on it and then try and pick up the second ball.
Ooh, speaking of Costa Ricans, Vargas has tried to nip in there and he's got the nick off a Rangers defender. It goes out for a corner. Fair play to the referee team, because it's hard to predict those ones. I think it just popped up and out it went.
First test of Souttar and Davies from a set piece. Go back to last weekend, 4 goals lost to Berlin because of defensive uncertainty.
Sorry, Hugh, can we have a bit of silence for Jan Danda's first corner of the season?
I thought that was disrespectful there.
I'm going to choose my words carefully. They excite Mark Wilson usually.
You love him, don't you?
Well, it was an outswinger. Give him his due. It was an outswinger, that one. It's the in-swingers that I like. He put right on top of Butland. That one was poor though.
I could hear your heart beating a little bit faster.
I enjoyed the wee run up.
It wasn't his heart I was thinking about, quite honestly.
But I've got to say, I've noticed Rangers this season, I don't know if somebody could correct me, but the zone mark now at corner kicks, I don't know if that was a case under Clement when he come in the building at first, but they tend to zone mark, and it'll be interesting to see going through the season if they lose a lot of goals from set plays.
Well, they lost 10 in pre-season, so they could have a look at that.
It's just settling down now, 5.5, in fact closer to 6 minutes on the clock. No team really has had a sustained attack or an impressive attack. The first corner, like we said there, went the way of Hearts, but they couldn't really make anything happen. The only goalkeeper who's made a save is Jack Butland, but it was a routine one straight at him from distance from Lawrence Shankland. I liked the way the Hearts team was published on Twitter. Did you see it? Clark, then Kent. I was looking for a bit of a superhero performance.
Yeah.
See where we're going with that one. Connor Barron, they are the only new signing for Rangers to start the game today, showing good tenacity. in the middle of the pitch, Mark, and it feels like, albeit it's been a fairly miserable pre-season for Rangers, he's come through that unscathed. It feels like the fans can really see something in him.
Oh, I think so. I think they've seen enough of him for Aberdeen to understand what he is and what kind of player he is. And let's be honest, I think the Rangers fans were getting a bit fed up of seeing the same old year after year. And Lundstrom and Ryan Jack, although when Ryan Jack was fit, he was a good player, but he was hardly ever fit. And I think they needed something fresh, something new, something that they can rely on for years to come. And I think Barron shows that at the minute, and he keeps the ball very, very well. Even in these opening 6 minutes, you can see him getting on the ball and just spraying it about. And that'll be interesting. The style of play from Rangers this season, I wonder if it will differ from what we saw at the end of last season. I wonder if it will be any difference. With Cortez being an out-and-out winger, you know, you've got real width there and real pace and real trickery, and you've got Barron there to keep things ticking.
I know we have various ongoing jokes on this show that we like to really kick the backside out of, and you always mention the fact that you had Conor Barron at Brecon for a brief spell, and you made him the player he is. Actually, hold on, there's a chance here. Hearts are in behind. It's a good save. Jack Butland at his near post, full stretch, and it's James Penrice, one of the new Hearts signings from left wing back. James Tavernier perhaps not covering himself in glory, getting caught wrong side, and it was almost an opener for the home team.
Yeah, it was great play from Hearts. Great play from Penrice down the left hand side. I've got to say, Tavernier's got to have a look at himself. If Penrice goes across Butland, he gives him a problem.
Goes near post.
Yeah, a goalkeeper like Butland, you'd expect him to save that.
Big chance though, and it's led to a corner which Barry Mackay will swing, and it's a good one. There is a Hearts head on it, but it goes out for a goal kick.
Well, I still give Butland credit for the save from Penrice, but when James Tavernier during the week rededicated himself to Rangers, there were supporters who were still of a mind that his time had come and gone. And he was part of the culture of failure at Ibrox. He'll really have to tighten up defensively. As everyone knows, his numbers in terms of goals and assists are astonishing for a fullback, but still that defensive laxity.
I'm a Tavernier fan, Hugh, but I've got to admit, last week against Union Berlin, defensively it was the worst I've seen him in the Rangers trip. I still think he contributes a lot. I think that he will contribute a lot unless obviously he gets transferred as Lawrence.
Strength from Tom Lawrence. He just nudges the Hearts player away and flashes it across goal. One of those that looked like it was going into his own net on TV, but actually it was put out for a throw-in. You don't quite get the appreciation of the angle from Frankie Kent.
I thought it was great play from Tom Lawrence, but then when he gets into that position, I don't know why he's trying to pick out there. You know, he's got to cut that ball back.
So Rangers not really having much in the way of attacking intent yet, but trying to build something here, having just seen the best chance of the game go to Hearts. It's slack there, I think, from Yilmaz and Gerald Taylor. Number 82. What's happening to the world, Hugh Keevins?
Exactly, yeah. 1 to 11 in my day.
Can someone educate me? Is that a significant number in Scotland? By the way, Gerald Taylor, what an athlete. I'll tell you what, that is going to infuriate Stephen Naismith, because he runs Taylor. Looked like he showed good strength. I think the point Stephen Naismith will be making, Mark, and we will just see it again, does he push Corte?
That's a free kick.
Is it any different from what Tom Lawrence just did in the corner?
Fair argument, but I think that's a free kick.
Tom Lawrence just did the exact same thing in the corner and set up an attack for Rangers.
Not as much as that. Free kick. Well done, the referee. Stop giving referees.
That's Willie Collum's influence.
I'm delighted. I am delighted for Mr. Collum.
Willie Collum gave a briefing in the summer. I went along to it, and he was saying it was great to talk to Gordon Dalziel in the gym. He was telling me genuinely.
Did he say that?
He said he's great to talk to. I was like, no, he just talks about himself and doesn't listen to a word you say.
Well, he's interested in my career.
Unbelievable, honestly.
This is just shameful sycophancy.
Here we go. Hearts could be in here if they can keep it in play. And Vargas, he's approaching the penalty box from an angle. What's he got on? He's just going to try and take it on himself. Well, he probably should have taken it on himself, because the pass was terrible, and Rangers come away with it.
Well, was it John Souttar was in the middle there? I thought John Souttar should have went and actually engaged with Vargas, but it turns out he actually done okay, because Vargas,
and it might prove costly, because it's opened some space up for Rangers to come. And will they be as wasteful? They've got space in the edge of the box, but the shot is blocked, and Gerald Taylor fires it away.
How opens this game? It's incredible. The amount of space at the middle of the park, the players from both sides are getting the middle of the park, is unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought that was a real opportunity from Hearts. Exactly what they want when they've got Vargas wide and he's in acres of space. He's timed his run to perfection in the halfway line. But, you know, Rangers defence just back off and you think, just go at him. You've almost got Suter in his 6-yard box and you decide to go backwards and try and pick someone out. I think he should have just went 1v1 there.
Yeah, I have to say, highlight of the season early on, you know, we've not got much to compare it to, but mine would definitely be that Willie column saying that you're good to talk to in the gym. I have to say, I'm amazed.
Great play from Hearts here.
Gerald Taylor could be. There we go, he slipped Lawrence Shankland and it's deflected away for a corner kick.
Hearts will sometime in this match come to rue all these missed chances, but the one concern, 12 minutes into the new season, how easy is it to go through this Rangers defence?
Or on a more positive side, Gerald Taylor,
by the way, he's looking good. I mean, we're 12 minutes in, he looks great.
Jan Danda thinks about it, edge of the box. Smashes the crossbar. What an effort that was from another of Hearts' summer recruits. And with 12 and a half minutes gone, the Jambos should be ahead.
Oh, without doubt they should be ahead. They've had opportunity after opportunity. That one, the closest. Danda just gets out his feet to his right, curls it, takes a slight. Is that a deflection or is it just a dip on that?
That's a deflection.
Slight nick.
But it is beat Butland, all ends up, comes crashing back off the bar. It's been a terrific opening to this game.
I'll tell you what, if you're Stephen Naismith, you are delighted with the first 13 minutes. The only thing I agree with you is, the only thing you'd be disappointed is you've not scored a goal.
No,
I get that, but that to me seems very glass half empty with only 13 minutes
I'm
gone.
a glass full guy.
If you're going to offer Stephen,
I never go glass
you
half
offer
empty.
Stephen Naismith these chances within 13 minutes before the game, he would have taken your hand off.
I just think
it's been a great start.
I just think it's positively alarming for the Rangers fans, the ease with which this is happening.
But I think you have to expect that as well, Hugh. See, when you're Rangers or anybody go to Tynecastle, you expect to be put under the cosh in the opening stages. But Hearts, this is the boy Taylor looks very good, quick, strong, powerful. He picks the right option as well to cut it back to Shankland. It's not like Lawrence Shankland doesn't quite catch it, takes a deflection.
It's
but
a bad combination though, Gordon, because it's very soft from Rangers when you see it back. And one thing that people have noticed in pre-season, everyone's excited about Oscar Cortez and they thought he was very good last season, and it's like a new signing, as the cliche goes, and Yilmaz is the number one left back. But over the course of pre-season, they have not combined well in a defensive sense at all, and we just saw that there again.
Yeah, I think Cortez has got to learn the other side of the game. I think when he gets the ball going forward, he's very, very good talent, Gordon. But also, if you see there, Ben Davies, for an experienced player to get caught out like that is incredible. That's why Rangers can lose goals.
It's a bit weak from Dessers. He's kind of shrugged away by Cammy Devlin, who would be the smallest player on the pitch, you would imagine, albeit quite tenacious. And
every time I look at Devlin, I wonder, is he sold that strip?
No, not yet.
No. He's got interest right in it.
Oh, what a piece of memorabilia that is. The brass neck to go and ask for it as well. Got to admire it, don't you? That's like you. You are the most 100%. Shameless guy I know.
See if I had these shorts and everything.
Honestly, see if I have to hear one more time about you complaining to the hotel you stayed in Arran because they had no hot water. Honestly,
yeah,
I think that's a legitimate complaint.
Oh, but the strength of the complaint, Hugh.
It's called full refund. Hugh, full refund.
My apologies to the poor receptionist that had to deal with this man.
She's lost her job.
Exactly.
Yeah. I put a lot of money to the staff training. They certainly need it.
We won't name.
What was the name of the hotel again?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to them.
Anyway, 15 and a half gone of this game of the new season, and you'd have to say the home side would be the happier. It is still goalless, but Hearts have had a good chance from Lawrence Shankland. Jan Danda's hit the bar. Kenneth Vargas has had a good opening. Penrice a very good chance and good save, and Rangers haven't really offered much in an attacking sense. In time, maybe Hugh Keevins' fatalism will come into play, and you think, well, maybe Hearts will rue these missed chances, but it's still early in the game. They'll be happy with the way they've started.
My mind goes back to last night's programme, Gordon, when you played the clip from Philippe Clement saying there will be interesting things tomorrow.
Rangers defending is interesting, and Vargas is in here. Davies just about gets back, and I wonder again,
Suter gone.
is that just a lack of cutting edge from Vargas. You
Well,
need more of that.
do you
That's
remember
another good opportunity.
back to, was it the semi-final at Hampden? Vargas had numerous opportunities like we just see there. He gets himself into such good positions, and it's his touch that takes him a bit wider to the left, and really should be cutting across shooter there and opening up the full goal to shoot up. But again, it's another opening from Hearts. Have been in full control and they're creating opportunities. These aren't just sporadic chances. They're in full control
They
of
look
this game.
similar as well, don't they? The way they're breaking through. Barry Mackay with the corner kick, but fair play to Rangers on that occasion. They do head it to safety, or relative safety, and you have to say that's better from Rangers, tracking back and snuffing out the danger. Is that Cortez?
Yeah,
I didn't quite see who it was, but it was impressive defending anyway. But they do just sort of launch it long, and it allows Hearts to regroup and regain possession again.
Well, I think if you're Stephen Naismith, if this is any other team you're playing against, you are equally as happy. But particularly because it's Rangers and you think there's going to be an onslaught at the start of the season. You know, this is the way that Hearts go about their business against every other team in the division. And Rangers are struggling at the minute to deal with it. They're struggling to get any possession of the ball. They're struggling to create at the top end of the pitch, and they're conceding chance after chance. But the longer you leave that without scoring, you always leave yourself open to that sucker punch.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely, but I suppose that's why it's called a sucker punch. But anyway, Hearts are enjoying themselves in the sunshine in the capital, albeit a goalless start here. Xander Clark's just thankful of a wee touch of the ball there, Gordon, which is not really it's not good news for Philippe Clement.
Yeah, I don't think the Rangers fans were expecting that after 18 minutes. It's been all Hearts, you've got to say. They've certainly started the better side. They're playing the better football. Rangers look very ropey, the back four. Hearts controlling the middle part. We've seen nothing of the front three of Rangers. You know, Wright, Cortez and Dessers. To be fair to them, I don't think they've had a lot of good service. But I think Rangers need to try and take the sting out of this a little bit.
Well, the only way you can do that is take the lead.
Well, keep the ball a little bit more, Hugh. Cortez has got a chance here on the left hand side.
Yeah, he comes in and he shows quick feet. You can see he's going to be able to skip away from players quite quickly. But when the pass comes to Scott Wright, he can't control it. And it's this is not meant to be about singling out Scott Wright and being unfair on him, but because Rangers overall, Gordon, are in a transitional phase, Connor Barron strikes it, and there we are. We eventually have a moment to excite the Rangers fans. It's a good save from Xander Clark. And you felt with the way Rangers had been playing, it was going to have to be something out of nothing. Just a shot from distance. Brilliantly saved, actually, by Xander Clark.
Yeah, you've got to give the credit to the goalkeeper there. Barnes done particularly well. Takes on that left foot, decides I'm having a go, but Xander Clark
skips up just in front of Xander Clark.
Terrific save from the goalkeeper.
Well, let's wait and see before we analyse it further. Yilmaz with the corner in swinging. Not much room to get a run up.
Don't get much run up, do you?
Take one step and swing it in. Cortez and Cammy Devlin having a wee cuddle in the box. Nick Walsh is just warning them.
Yeah, Walsh is having none of it.
And Lawrence Shanklin trying to marshal the troops in there as well. And Rangers maybe something off the training ground. It does go short. Oh, and it's dreadful.
Foot race now.
And Vargas, he's furious. He thought that was a foul. Nick Walsh disagrees.
Tavernier, wasn't it?
I think he went down far too easily.
I'd like to see it again.
I thought he'd nicked the ball.
Yeah, I'd like to see it again. I thought he was a favourite there.
Get another look at it as Rangers now try and put a cross into the box. It's headed away by Hearts. It's a bit more of an end-to-end feel here, but I'll tell you, Gerard Taylor is a machine. Well, I mean, a machine who runs the ball right out of play on this occasion.
Nevertheless, a machine.
He's just went down Princess Street.
Let's see this again. Vargas
down too easily.
Hugh, you might be right.
Yeah, I would like to agree with Hugh in this occasion.
I wonder why he bothers though, because he doesn't get the ball.
By the way, he's quick, is he not? Because Tavernier was favourite all day long to get there, and he still beats him. But Hearts have defended the ball into the box quite well.
Rangers better now. There's a chance.
It's over the ball.
He's got to score.
Got to score. I agree with Gordon.
I'm expecting the
best thing about it was the touch. It was a long ball over the top. He gets in between the centre backs, controls it beautifully. Cyril Dessers. We cut him a touch of slack. Is it not just sitting up a bit too high?
Yeah, I agree with that. But I tell you what, you say the best bit. I thought the timing of the run was brilliant. The touch was brilliant. And he's overthought the finish for me. He just has to get a little bit on that, lift it over the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0 Rangers.
It's always rising. Once he takes that good first touch over the defender's head, it's always rising. He'd do very well to get his foot over it and keep it down. But Daz is right, a good run on the shoulder, and it's a good pick out. Didn't quite see who played the pass, but
I think it was Diomande. But
Diomande, good pass.
It's a bit more like it, Hugh. It wouldn't be hard. Rangers had set a fairly low bar early on, but they've now at least shown some attacking intent, a couple of good opportunities, and before I bring you in, they've got another corner.
Yeah, I think Barron instigated things, with that terrific shot and even better save from Xander Clark. It suddenly sparked Rangers into life, and there's no doubt that Dessers should have scored. I think it was just there sitting up for him. But terrific match. We're 1/4 of the way through it, and it's been a terrific opener.
I can't disagree with that, Hugh. It's been brilliant. We're looking forward to it.
Well, another corner then. Yilmaz will get another go at it. That same side, that in swinger. It looks like it's a good ball, and what a take that is from Xander Clark.
I like that from goalies, and an era where they're used to punching the ball.
He is leaning over 2 or 3 different players, takes a tumble, wins the free kick. Excellent goalkeeping. Something we've not even touched on yet is the fact that he's playing today.
Yeah.
Because we could have been back to square one in the whole Craig Gordon, Xander Clark debate with a reset over the summer.
I think it'd be very unfair and to depend on the pre-season games as well, but I think Xander Clark, since he's went in as number 1, he's been excellent for Hearts, and I think he deserves to start the season.
But it would have been easier to do it in a summer. Last season he was always likely to keep it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to just change it suddenly. But he's had a couple of good interactions today. Good save,
he's
good
certainly
cross.
been terrific when called upon, I've got to say. Looks very confident indeed.
The game has changed a bit because, like we said, Hearts were by a distance the best team for the first maybe 18 minutes or so, creating a number of chances. Rangers had very few, but now Rangers are starting to find their groove. Good defending from Taylor just to nip the ball away from Cortez for a throw-in.
I think you was right in saying that Barron's shot certainly sparked something into Rangers, and they've certainly woken up now, and they're controlling the ball well, working it from side to side and creating a couple of opportunities.
It was simply like that, the alarm clock going off. Come on, wake up here. And it's had that effect on Rangers.
Yep. So we are in the 24th minute. We're getting there. We're ticking our way into the new season. It's pace-wise, it's dropped a touch, but you could expect that because it got ferocious for a while. Not seen much of James Tavernier. He's actually had quite a difficult afternoon in the defending sense, but he's attacking here with Scott Wright, and it falls edge of the box. Diomande, good feet. Tom Lawrence initially anyway, couldn't find a pass, and Hearts might just need to ride this out a little bit. Good play from Penrice just to hack one up the line, and I'll tell you, Vargas is causing Ben Davies and James Tavernier a whole world of problems.
Ben Davies is having one of those games that you don't want
Here's
to think about.
Yandanda, edge of the box, and it's over the bar. It was Barry Mackay in the end, the former Rangers winger. It came to him. He's got good technique, not a known prolific goal scorer though, and he lifts it over the bar. It's another good chance for Hearts.
As an ex-coach of Barry, he's got that in his locker. He put that in the top corner. Let me tell you, I think he overdoes it a little bit. Great play. Danda again inside, picks him out. Too easy. It's absolutely too easy. If you're Clement, you're looking at that Ben Davies at centre half, you've got to be stronger than that as a centre half.
The Rangers fans are looking at this and thinking they've never clapped eyes on Robin proper, but they'll have him sight unseen. They'll have him in the team right now at the earliest convenience, because you can see why he's been signed.
Just quickly, Mark, so what is happening that Ben Davies is the one who keeps coming across?
Well, I can only imagine that Shooter's been dragged in with Shankland.
That's why a minute ago I got them mixed up, because Ben Davies has been over this side on Vargas a lot, despite playing the left centre back. Yeah, and it's exactly what you don't want. Anybody will tell you, if you're playing with a back four, you want it to remain intact and you want everybody to remain in their positions, and it's just about communication passing on. But the movement at the front two has been very good from Hearts. That did line up when the TV came up that Vargas was going to play the more advanced one and Shankland was going to play in the 10. Well, we saw that with it was Josh Ginnelly, wasn't it? In that period. So it is something that Hearts have done in the past.
But they're certainly using Vargas's pace, because any out ball they need, they're just flipping it down the side and he's getting his rewards. But the one thing about Vargas, time again, his decision making sometimes poor when he gets into those positions.
Hearts felt that ball had gone out of play.
I think Hearts were right.
Rangers get the benefit of the doubt. It has gone out. This time on the other side, Gerald Taylor enjoying life as a Hearts player so far, just tussling with Oscar Cortez. What's interesting about these two is neither have played a competitive game yet, so we don't have much to go on, especially if you're the type that doesn't buy into pre-season. So it's interesting to get a good look at players like Taylor and Barron and see how they're faring.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor certainly looks good in these opening exchanges right away. 1v1 defending, looks powerful going forward. Cortez will be an interesting one. Again, I was impressed with the couple of games we saw him, and he looked like a winger. I always kind of try and judge it, people that I wouldn't like to play against, and he looks like somebody. Long list.
Sorry, Pearson. Did you hear that?
But he looks like somebody that's direct, he's quick, he can go either way. But Taylor's kept him quiet in the opening half hour of this. Anytime he looks to go at him, Taylor's just taking the ball off him. So he's got a bit of work to do in this game.
I've got to be honest, didn't really know Taylor, but first 27 minutes, been very impressed with him indeed.
Yeah, it looks like a good acquisition for sure. His Hearts look to, because in relative terms they're in a good financial place. They're making good money off Europe. That's why actually financially the need to sell Lawrence Shankland isn't necessarily there. But depending what fee you would get, and is it worth keeping him around to try and fire you to Europe? So they're in a good place and trying to spend that money wisely. Robin Propper, the new Rangers defender, is in the stands, and I think the Rangers fans would quite like him on, Hugh. I mean, his paperwork's not through, so he can't, but based on this defensive showing so far, they could be doing with him. And
no Rangers fan will have a clear impression of how good, bad or indifferent Robin Propper is, but based on what they've witnessed so far in the first half hour of this game, they will take him, because Rangers defensively have been a horror story.
Tell you what, Mark, you expect it pace wise, fine sometimes, but Vargas physically is, in terms of strength, seems to be getting the better of Ben Davies as well.
Bullying Ben Davies. Ben Davies looks so slight compared to Vargas, and he's finding it easy. He's getting a wee bit of treatment just now, but no wonder for half an hour he's ran this Rangers backline ragged. It's on his hand, so he'll be okay to come back on. But Davies really struggling in these opening stages.
Yeah, and Dander's going to whip the free kick. It's a deflected. And there's a chance in the 6-yard box.
I think that's a great chance.
It's never good when a free kick hits a one-man wall, but the ball ended up spinning up into the air, and when it came in, right on that 6-yard line, who was underneath it? There was a couple of players, there was a collision, there's a Rangers defender down. I think Frankie Kent was the Hearts player closest to it, and James Penrice is going to go and take a throw in over in front of the Hearts fans.
I don't even know if Kent went for it. I think he thought he wasn't getting it, but
yeah, I think
really
he was
close.
thinking that Butland or the defender's got to deal with it, but Rangers were a bit caught out there.
Edge of the box. It's good defensive play though. Was it Tom Lawrence who just chased it down?
Yeah.
Was that George Grant who tried to fire one in?
Yeah, looked like it from the edge of the box, but good block.
Great pace to this game, I've got to say. If this is what the season's going to give us, brilliant.
Well, it's a case of here come Hearts again, because there was a mini period where Rangers kind of got back into it, but Hearts are enjoying themselves again, albeit it's still goalless. And here's Danda, it's just too much, and it goes for a goal kick.
It was a good run. You don't expect that from Danda, actually, going beyond the front men, and he quick feet popped it off and then kept his run going, but the pass is just too much from Penrice into him there. It was a good opportunity.
It's not nailed on. We don't need cast iron conclusions. Oh my goodness, Rangers are giving the ball away so often you can't finish a sentence. Here they come again. Hearts. Danda, edge of the box. It was Diomande robbed, and there's the first half-hearted penalty appeal of the new season. Bring it on. I'm sure we'll have a few more of them. Nick Walsh, he's on the mic, you can see it, and as it comes in, it does catch Barron's arm. Let me tell you,
what's the rules? Come on, Gordon.
No, it's not so much the rules.
What did we Willie tell you?
Let's remind ourselves of what came out over the summer. Willie Collum, his intention certainly is to get more consistent with the handballs. We're all hoping for it, and they are going to try and take a slightly less strict approach, if that's the right way of putting it. They're going to try and take proximity into account a bit more. So right there, Danda's kind of flicked it up, Barron's arm does come up. Maybe a penalty last season, I don't think they'll be
I
given
like
this
that
season.
rule. I like that rule.
That would be. And by the way, don't. I'm just the messenger, right? No one really cares what I think about it, but in a very general sense, I hear you all out there. That possibly could have been a penalty last season. I don't think they will be this season.
The biggest mistake for me last season was that referees refused to take responsibility for their own judgment. Now, Nick Walsh has looked at that and thought, nah, that's not a penalty. But last season they were saying, I'll just take the monitor's word for it. And there were all manner of daft penalties. Tynecastle was a perfect case in point when Celtic, Tomoki Iwata had a ridiculous penalty given against him at Tynecastle one Sunday afternoon. So if referees are going to take responsibility for themselves, then that's a move forward.
Look, we won't do this because as soon as the tribal stuff starts and as soon as rivalries reignite, you don't do it. But in an ideal world, everybody needs to try and right now accept it, as long as it's consistent though, because I would agree with that, but say, right, okay, it is for the greater good, let's not give as many stupid handballs as we did last season. So if you're a Hearts fan, try and accept that in the hope that if the same thing happens in your box, it doesn't get given. Don't get me wrong, the problems do arise when you see one next week with a different ref or whatever and it gets given. But surely at least on day one of the season we can all unite and we can make our peace with that decision, can we not?
I think you use the word consistent. As long as it's consistent, I think that's a terrific decision, and I'm glad that is the way that referees are going to go, because a handball rule last year was absolute joke.
There was a couple that they showed as part of this presentation, you know, like the Iwata one, obviously, because it was the worst of the lot. There was one, Stephen O'Donnell at Easter Road, his hands were like just by his side and someone tries to flick it round him, so obviously it hits his hand and that was given. And I think the feeling is that those ones, the phrase Willie Collum used, and I appreciate this is open to interpretation, is what's the football expectation? You know, you look at that and you know that way you've just got a kind of gut instinct of that needs to be given. What does the spirit of football sort of expect? And Barron's one there probably didn't meet that threshold.
And you mentioned the fans accepting it, but I hope the coaches and managers accept it, you know, and they're quick to remember that it could happen at the opposite end. So as long as we get that, but you're right, Daz right, consistency is key. If you see one next week and it's given, then you go, oh, here we go.
On that Barron one, just quickly, I think maybe the distinction would be, so his arm was up. If that was then a full outstretched arm that's right away from his body and the ball hits, say, you know, his forearm, his wrist, it's probably going to get given. You might get away with the fact it was semi-tucked in. Sorry, Hugh. Corner Rangers then will revisit. Ben Davies is trying to make an impression in an attacking sense because he's had a tough afternoon defensively. Xander Clark thought about coming for that one, can't get there. Vargas is clattered into. The Hearts are going to get the benefit of the doubt, and then the free kick comes.
The problem with regard to handball and penalties is that fans are now conditioned. Fans will be calling between 5 and 6 tonight and saying, but it touched his hand. And then you'll try to explain to them Willie Collum's philosophy about football expectation and all the rest of it. But fans are conditioned on the back of a serial.
Yeah, but at the same time though, that's kind of what we're here for ultimately, to try and spread that message and get that understanding out there. And by the way, it's fine because we're also here for it as well. It's not me that makes up the rules. I don't really care if next week one like that is given. I would invite you all to phone in and complain about the inconsistency.
In a sense, Willie Collum has admitted that last season penalties were given unnecessarily and contrary to the spirit of the game and football expectation and all the rest of it. And now he's basically saying it was so bad we have to review the situation. Therefore the Conor Barron incident there is not a penalty anymore.
Without harping too much on about it, Hugh, he's 100% correct. It ruins the game, it really does. So this game is starting to just peter out a little bit. Both sides have had their moments. You just wonder if
mostly Hearts, you have to say.
Yeah, you wonder if we're going to get a goal before half time, because this game certainly deserves a goal. It's been excellent for me.
So there we are, we're 36 minutes into the new season. It's been good. Don't let the lack of goals fool you. Hearts have been really good. They've created a number of chances. Rangers a couple of moments, but really probably not a first half showing yet that would impress many of the fans or Philippe Clement. But still time to flip that on its head and grab a goal before the break. 10 minutes
if you're Rangers, I think you've got to be asking a little bit more of that front three. Cortez, to be fair to Taylor, has been excellent against them. Not seen a lot of right. Dessers has did one good running chance. This should be Butland's ball.
Yeah, he
all
comes,
day
collects
long,
it really well, Jack Butland. He's had I was going to say a bit of stick, maybe a slight criticism over pre-season, not looking at his absolute peak. He came and collected that one well. I think it was Taylor, who's probably the most mentioned player in the first half. He cracked one from distance, and eventually it was deflected towards the goalkeeper.
Well, you wondered what he was doing, Taylor, but as we were saying, can we get a goal from a first half that deserves a goal? And Taylor resorted to the if you don't buy a ticket you won't win the raffle route.
Oh, it's really slack from Rangers and give it away. If Hearts can just find that pass, but it's excellent from Connor Barron, just doesn't let Shankland wriggle away. However, his teammates are not quite as effective, and it's going to be a throw into Hearts in the end.
Oh, a bit scrappy there. Poor from Rangers. Diamondi, I think, getting caught in that first of all.
That will really annoy Rangers fans, Mark, because he's seen as like, oh well, at least he'll be a positive. He's given it away quite a few times today.
He certainly has. He's sporting the number 10 shirt this year, but been quiet this first half. Hearts just need to pick their pass a wee bit better, but they've got numbers willing to go forward
as well.
He's got everything, this guy.
My goodness,
what an attribute. The long throw from Taylor is very long. Danda just goes down a bit easy.
Come on, Jan.
And that's going to be a booking, I think, as well. Maybe we're not. Nick Walsh is taking a lenient approach, but yeah, Jan Danda, it just fell to him at the edge of the box. He's still making his case. The colleagues in the VAR room will, I'm sure, have a look at it. Jan Danda, I mean, Tom Lawrence
puts his hand across.
He does put his hand on Jan Danda's
sort
of neck area, but it's never enough, is it?
Again, that's common sense refereeing there. Yeah, never enough to go down. Needs to be much stronger.
As much as you criticise referees, and we do a lot apart from myself, players have got to take a bit of responsibility.
Now Connor Barron's been dragged down to the level of some of his teammates here. He's now firing one out of play. He had been a a bit more of a positive case for Rangers in this opening.
He looked a bit of a Brecon player there to me.
Aye, plenty of those passes.
Play it to the hedge. And let's waste some time. We're only 6 down.
I think it started
38 minutes into the season, and the first knife has gone into the back of a colleague.
I think it started the Connor Barron story about 25 minutes ago when the Hearts had a chance and it interrupted. It's not even that good, but I'll finish it anyway. Mark, we said it was a running joke. You always mention how you made him in his brief spell at Brecon. I interviewed him on his first day as a Rangers player, and I was small talking with him before, and I said, listen, we've made mention quite a few times of your time at Brecon. You remember Mark Wilson? And he's going, yeah. And I said, well, listen, we have a joke, he always likes to say that he made you, sort of thing, but he's so polite, Connor Barron, that he was taking it seriously, and I was going to say, no, it's a joke. And he was saying, we didn't work together long because he got sacked not long after I arrived.
He played a part.
And then he said, but honestly, you do. You take little bits off everyone you work with.
Of course. I told him how to keep possession of the ball.
You think I want to hear? I want to hear the opposite.
Listen, he learned a lot from me in my short period. We trained maybe 2 nights together, a Tuesday and a Thursday, and then I was shown the door. But he picked up a lot in those sessions. Top player. And when he represents Scotland, he'll be sitting there in front of the TV cameras, thank me, also.
Yeah, so he's wearing number 8. I'm surprised he didn't ask for the number 12.
The 12 in memory,
in tribute. But there we go.
He's true to his roots, that boy.
Yeah, no,
good lad.
I do. I take a bit off every coach I've worked with.
Look at this for a throw in. This is incredible. I couldn't kick the ball this far. This guy's got to throw the ball about 60 yards.
Gerald Taylor might be my favourite player of the season, and I've not even seen the rest.
Yeah,
I don't need
to.
I love this guy. He's got it all.
Boom.
I mean, it doesn't go anywhere near any of his teammates, but look, it's
a great throw.
That's not important, Hugh.
No, you get Olympic gold for that.
Slack from Vargas this time. It does allow Tavernier, who's not had an easy day, to take it off him. And can Rangers build before the end of the half? It's a good run from Yilmaz. It's a decent ball. It's a good touch, and there we are. It's a good effort from Dessers.
Should have scored.
That's a half chance.
I think
that's a tough chance.
I agree with Gordon. I think that's a half chance. I think it's great play. Yilmaz
hits it straight at Clark.
Once again, Desser's touch is excellent. Sets him up brilliantly, but straight at Clark. That's a little warning to Hearts. Yes, you've had most of the play, but all of a sudden before half time you could be 1 down.
The only thing you would say, Mark, it's not to take anything away, because if Cyril Dessers converts a couple of them and Rangers are 2-0 up, then it's great, everything's rosy. But the only way they seem to get joy is that sort of ball over the top.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm wording that poorly, because how can you criticise a good chance? But if Hearts can just get to grip with that, it's the only
space he's got there.
It's first time on his left foot,
his
isn't it?
touch is brilliant.
I think it's a tougher one than you think, Hugh. That his first touch is good to bring it back, but there's a lot still to do there. But you're right. I mean, Rangers aren't really cutting Hearts open at any time at all. They look comfortable, apart from that one that Dessers is off the shoulder, and that's where they've got the few opportunities. So I think Philip Clement will look for more, especially when you've got Diamonde and Barron there who can keep possession of the ball. Lawrence we're seeing on TV just now.
Not seen him.
Not seen him at all.
No.
Really. I know he played that ball over the top there, but you've hardly ever seen him. And those are the players that you look to create and play those little passes through. Not seen enough.
Two
from
wide
Rangers.
men and they've not got in behind Hearts. So I think that's a disappointing bit of it.
Yeah, free kick to Hearts. Barry Mackay. Again, it's one of those that the angle's going to have to be good. It's quite central. There's still enough there, I think, to put something dangerous into the box if he can wrap his foot around it. But it's a long way
Rangers
out.
have got a high line.
Everyone does that now, though, don't
they?
Really,
yeah, it's a way forward. You just wonder if Hearts have got something from the training ground, or are they just got to put normal ball in there and let's fight for it.
Yeah, well, the second ball will come to Danda at the edge of the box. He's picked up a few of them today. Hit the bar with one. This time just feeds Vargas, who's going to take Tavernier a run, but Tavernier does well on this occasion. Credit where it's due. Tavernier needs a couple of them, Mark, because he's not had a great start to the season.
Yeah, you know, when you get in that mode and you find yourself mistake after mistake or getting caught out, you're right. You need to win a few duels to boost the confidence again, and you all of a sudden start feeling a wee bit better. But it's not been a vintage start to the season for James Tavernier in pre-season. It's only 2 games he's taking part in, right enough.
Yeah, he missed
for his fitness. Yeah, so he may still be lacking a wee bit of fitness. I know close seasons is particularly short now and they don't lose a lot of fitness, but he still loses that wee bit of sharpness.
So we're into the last couple of minutes before the break. Scott Wright and Kai Rolls, I think, battling hard down there, and it eventually just comes back the way to the Rangers defence. John Souttar, a man who knows these parts well, of course. A few seasons in Maroon before making the switch to Ibrox. And there might just be a chance for Rangers at the end of the half. But it's a terrible touch from Rudvan.
Yeah, he's certainly been a positive. He's got up the pitch. He's played a couple of nice balls in to Dessers, but that was a poor touch there.
His defensive side has matched that, though.
No, I think Rangers back four have been shocking. They're lucky they've got away so far with a clean sheet. I think the 2 centre halves are getting dragged all over the place. I think Clement will have a word with them at half time. They need to be better, because you're not going to defend like that and not concede goals.
Xander Clark in no rush. This half looks like it will end goalless. Rangers have had chances now, but you would have to say Hearts have still had the better of this opening period. We wait to see how many additional minutes there will be. Not loads, well, I don't think.
We'll see enough bad games this season to know that what we've seen in the first half has been entertaining. It may be entertainment at times created by inefficiency, but it's been a terrific match, and I think both managers will regret not having got a goal in the game. At first I was, as you know, saying that Hearts might regret the chances they had missed, but the Rangers fall into that category as well.
Sorry, the danger of repeating myself, but just
Taylor.
Again, Oscar Korkmaz, see as a fullback, if you're Gerald Taylor, do you now know you've got Cortez
in your pocket
in a straight line? Look, there are other ways. Cortez has got another half of the game here. He might be able to come inside, find a space, make something happen. But see, when you know in a straight line you've got him.
Pretty much, yeah.
At half time.
Let's go and speak to Gabriel.
Half time, and it's 0-0, but it's been a cracking game here at Tynecastle. Fast paced and end to end. Rangers have had chances, but Hearts have certainly edged the first 45. Stephen Naismith's side have cut open Rangers at ease and be kicking themselves. They are not ahead. Started when new boy James Penrice burst through the Rangers' right flank. Had a good effort, but it was a good save from Jack Butland low to his right. Gerald Taylor made a brilliant start to life here at right back. He eased his way through the Rangers defence again, rolled it into Lawrence Shanklin, whose deflected shot went just wide. Then from the resulting corner, Jan Danda, also on his debut, rattled the crossbar. Kenneth Vargas has got in on the break 2 or 3 times as well. He's got James Tavernier on toast here, but he's had a poor final pass on several occasions. Frankie Kent with a great chance from a header as well. Rangers just look so suspect at the back, being dragged all over the place. They look like a team who need reinforcements. But they have had a couple of moments themselves, certainly grew into it later in the half. Connor Barron, who's looked like Rangers' best player on his full debut, had a good effort with his left foot from outside the box, forcing Xander Clark into his first save. Cyril Dessers had two good moments as well, with lovely first touches to set him up, but he just couldn't find the finish. Philippe Clement will certainly want a lot more from his Rangers team in the second half. Naismith will want more of the same, just a finishing touch. Finally poised here at the interval, Hearts 0, Rangers 0.
What have you made of that so far, Mark Wilson? How would you sum it up?
Well, Hearts pretty much in control and the better side, certainly in that first period. I thought Jack Butland makes a good save from Penrise, but then they started to create other opportunities, and all in the kind of same fashion. Down the left hand side, Davies getting dragged across, and that back line of Rangers certainly looks fragile, and they come ever so close when Danda hits the bar. I think Stephen Naismith will certainly be the happier side. Rangers have had one or two just openings from Dessers, but nothing really clear cut, and I think Stephen Naismith will certainly be the happier manager of the two.
If you're Naismith though, Mark, and you're able to say, you, Mark Wilson, are able to say Rangers back four not up to it at all, you should be regretful then that you haven't scored a goal.
Yeah, I would say so. But look, there's still plenty of time. You'd rather create opportunities like you have done than be defending the edge of your own box against Rangers for 45 minutes and try to soak up pressure and try to hit the counter-attack. Hearts have really taken this home game to Rangers. I think the fans inside the stadium will appreciate that, particularly after the pre-season that Hearts have had. It's not looked convincing, but for 45 minutes it's looked convincing, and the only thing missing is a goal for them.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Hearts, I've got to say. The two full-backs have not allowed Cortez or Wright any room at all. They've never getting behind. The only danger that's coming from Rangers is that long ball that the two centre halves need to look at, but Dessers a bit unlucky in both occasions. But look at Hearts, they've been at it, they've made good chances, they've looked very good indeed, they've looked dangerous, they've caused Rangers back four all sorts of problems. There's a bit of work to do for the Rangers manager at half time.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what the respective half-time team talks are. I think Stephen Naismith would have taken that first half performance. I think Philippe Clement will want more, but yet it is still goalless on the opening day in the opening game of the Scottish Premiership season. Hearts have been the better team, they've had chances, Rangers have had opportunities of their own, but no goals yet, and we'll go back to Tynecastle during the break next.
The fastest goals, the experts' opinions. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Those in Tynecastle catching their breath after a fairly fast-paced first half of the new season for both Hearts and Rangers. It is goalless, but it's been interesting, you have to say. Hearts certainly with the best of the half and the best chances and the best of the play. Rangers have had a number of good opportunities, though they could have scored as well, but I think the balance of play, if you like, Hugh, Hearts would be the happier, wouldn't they?
I would say so, but for the fact that they can't stick the ball in the net. However, Butland's made a good save, Danda's hit the bar. It's a far livelier Hearts than I had anticipated today. When they played Rangers last season, by and large flat as can be and easily overturned, but this Hearts side ought to be in front. And I go back to the point because it has to be underlined given what Rangers have in front of them. The defence as it stands will never do, and Proper will have to come in, and you simply have to take over command. You'll have to marshal everyone, Tavernier included, because Tavernier is as suspect as anyone.
Let's go back to Tynecastle. Gabriel's there. Gabriel, it's a more difficult question than it would have been in the past because it's a small travelling contingent now. The allocation isn't big. Are the Rangers fans frustrated at what they've seen so far?
I would say it's been a fairly mixed bag, Gordon. Obviously they don't want to see their defenders being dragged all over the place. Ben Davies coming over to the right hand side so often looks out of place. It does look like a defence that is missing Connor Goldson, which it clearly is, and Hughes touching on Robin Proper is going to have to come in and command the defence. That's what it looks like. They've lost their leader in Connor Goldson. We know how vocal he is, but they have been positive, the supporters, about Connor Barron. He's looked like fitted right into the middle of the park in the place of John Lundstrom or Ryan Jack, who the fans have been so used to seeing over the last 4 or 5 years. He's been good, certainly a positive, but it's got to be better from them going forward. I will say that Rangers look like they can create chances out of nothing, which has often happened, because they haven't really cut Hearts open. It's just been balls over the top, but 2 good touches from Dessers, and he's had 2 good chances, and they could easily be 2-0 up despite being up against it a lot of the half.
Take a note of how many times this is going to happen during the season, because all week I've been struggling with this. I keep going to call Robin proper Davy, who's his brother, of course.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And Gabriel and I discussed yesterday how it's a trap you can fall into, and now he's done it. He's not going to be able to shake it. Now that it's in your head,
Day one, Gabriel.
He'll overthink it every time, because I've been panicking about it all week.
The journalistic remedy to that is simply drop the Christian name altogether. Just refer to him as proper.
Anyway, yeah, he's in the stand, and Rangers fans will hope, Gordon, that he can be a bit of an upgrade on the first half defensive performance. The good thing is it hasn't cost them. There is no goal to speak of yet for Hearts, but Ben Davies looks like he's having a tough afternoon, doesn't he?
I don't think the 2 centre backs, and I watched them last week as well, their last pre-season game, I don't think they look comfortable playing together, and sometimes in that position you need partnerships. You look through all the great teams years gone by, Gordon, and if they're hard to beat, the 2 centre halves and the goalkeeper will be top quality. I don't see that with Rangers. I think they'll need this lad in. I think Goldson, yeah, people were saying it was time for him to go, but the experience and everything that Goldson brings, it is a loss, and you've got to replace that. Right now I'm looking at the 2 centre halves, Suter and Davies. Going forward, ain't the partnership the Rangers have to have.
Well, they certainly do look like they're struggling at the back in this 45 minutes, and you know, it's a problem that's plagued Rangers now for a good bit. You had the serial offenders, if you like. You had Barisic, who we spoke about so much last year, and he's away. And then Goldson, we wondered the relationship between Tavernier and Goldson, if that was being detrimental to Rangers' chances and the mistakes that were being highlighted. Then you had whoever partnered Goldson, it was Davies, if it was Suter, it was coming in. And now you've got a combination of both of them who are struggling for 45 minutes. So there's no doubt that proper or someone proper is needed to go in there and defend, because this doesn't look like the partnership.
Matt, do you know the thing? Is Balogun on the bench?
Yes.
I'm quite surprised that Balogun isn't in there for his pace as well, which would allow Rangers to get up the pitch a little bit and squeeze it, and the middle of the park can go about and do their business. But obviously Rangers manager prefers Davies. That's the one that baffles me. I would rather have Balogun in there.
Again, it's so hard at half-time on day one of the season, to jump into big conclusions. But I just wonder,
that's
Gordon,
plenty of time.
you were big on this about what might happen over the summer. Forget whether Rangers are pulling it off or not, playing well or not. Are you seeing anything different stylistically?
No, that's what worries me. I listened to Hugh, I listened to Clement talking about different things that was going to happen today. I'm thinking, is it a change in formation? Is it a different style of football? You look at Postecoglou when he came and he surprised everybody with inverted fullbacks and caught teams out very much early in the season. Rangers are playing the same style of football. The 2 wide men are not getting on the ball at all. Hearts are dominating the middle of the park. The back 4 look like they're all over the place. I'd like to ask the manager, what was that we were looking at seeing this afternoon? What was the difference? What was the change? Because so far at Tynecastle, like many Rangers supporters sitting watching and listening to this show, probably would agree, we've not seen it.
Do you think we'll see any changes at the break, Gabriel? Are there any immediate signs that either side could look to do that?
The substitutes have been out warming up, Gordon. Actually, Rangers team just emerging from the tunnel now, so we can have a quick look to see if there are any changes. Looks like it's the same 11. Yeah, Ben Davies just emerged from the tunnel, and finally it's Ridvan Yilmaz and Cyril Dessers. So it's the same 11 for Rangers have started. We'll quickly go through it. Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Davis, Ridvan, Diomande, Barron, Lawrence, Wright, Dessers and Cortez. Hearts just coming out now as well, and it looks like they will be unchanged in that almost 4-2-3-1 formation. Vargas going beyond Shanklin, causing Rangers real problems. A run through the Hearts 11 as well. Clark, Taylor, Kent, Rolls, Penrice, Devlin, Grant, Danda, Mackay, Shanklin and Vargas. So no changes just yet, but he's sure both sides will turn to their bench shortly. Something's got to give here, Gordon. It's been fast-paced, it's been entertaining, there's been chances, but no goals yet. The second half is coming up next.
Clyde One Super Scoreboard. Goal flashes. With M&D Green Pharmacy. Get advice on keeping infections and viruses away when school returns.
I feel like every Rangers fan in the stadium or watching on TV, Hugh, will almost demand a quick start here. Just a sign that they've taken lessons from how poor that first half was and try and go on the front foot here.
Well, exactly, as Hearts did in the first half. Rangers cannot afford to leave Tynecastle having left anything behind in terms of points. So they need to get up the park and I think get Barron on the ball, because with him good things arrive.
I think they've got to get the wide men on the ball, Hugh. They play a lot of long balls, Rangers, through the middle. Dessers is not that kind of player. As much as that, he had a couple of good chances, but you're not going to get away with that for 90 minutes of football at this level. Your wide men need to get in behind, whether it's coming inside and letting your fullbacks overlap or whatever, and cause Hearts problems. Once again we see it, that long ball again out of I go back to it, I listen to the Rangers manager, I've not seen a different style of football.
And from a Hearts perspective, Mark, though, this is where you find out if you can take this to another level, and it doesn't become a first half where you rue your missed opportunities, because they were good and they had Rangers worried, but they couldn't convert. So it's an important period for them as well.
Yeah, without doubt. How many times have we seen teams coming up against Rangers or Celtic and they have their good spells, and then all of a sudden they come out the second half and it's a different look to the game. Hearts can't afford that to happen, and I don't think they will. I think they've kept the same personnel, they're playing the same way. I think they will.
He's finished. He's
he's gone. Yeah, he's someone banned me from
you're loving him already,
Gerald Taylor.
I'm with you, Gordon. I'm with you. The old fullbacks, Cobb, I'm with you.
Fullbacks who knock it round one side of a winger, run round the other, collect the ball.
Reminds me of the old days.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And Cortez is, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He looks genuinely injured here. I also don't think he's enjoyed it, Gordon. I'm not saying he's chucked it. He's been bang up against it.
Now he's had an injury. We don't know if it's a reoccurrence of that, Gordon, I've got to say, but he picked up a knock just at half time. He's come out and he looked okay.
Yeah, it probably was that, because he took a tumble before the break. I didn't see much in it, but anyway, it looks like he'll go off now.
Yeah, and now
it's his ankle, left ankle.
Yeah, and he was too easily beat there, and he just totally gave up, and you can see he's getting a bit of treatment now. He's not going to last any more of this game.
Mark, this now stretches. You get your double priorities when this happens. What does this mean for today's game? And then Rangers fans, Philippe Clement, who were hoping that Oscar Cortez could be the new signing and could carry a big attacking threat. If this is even a semi-long term one, it's a huge issue.
Well, it's a worry, and it's again a start to a season that started with players being injured for Rangers, and Philippe Clement made a big point about that when he came in, about getting injuries right, and maybe the care wasn't the best. And now they've started again. Cortez coming off the back of a long injury, back into the side, optimism surrounds him, and he's off here in 48 minutes. So not the player's fault, of course, but not ideal for the Rangers manager.
Philippe Clement went into a bit of detail about this yesterday, saying they've done more sprinting in pre-season, 70% more sprinting or something like that, and they're all better conditioned. Look, you can obviously only do so much. Injuries are still going to happen, but that's one that Rangers fans would not have wanted to see. Oscar Cortez limps off to be replaced by Rabbi Matondo, and if last season tells you anything, Gordon, Rabbi Matondo is unpredictable. It might end up being a match-winning substitution, or it might end up compounding Rangers' frustrations a bit more.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think it's bad news for Taylor, because he had the beating of Cortez. He had him in his pocket all afternoon. Matondo may give him a different...
Well, he's quicker, isn't he?
Yeah, different problem. He can come inside, outside. We know he's got a goal in him as well. Listen, as much as we don't like to see a lad being injured, I don't think that's a bad move for Rangers. I think they needed something a bit more.
The frustration on Lawrence Shankland's face as he's nutmegged by a pass from Tom Lawrence that allows Rangers just to come back in the field.
But you felt that Rangers would have to get on the front foot, and that they, in the first 5 minutes of the first half, have been the dominant side. A wild attempt at goal from long distance there by Rabbi Matondo.
I know he's buzzing off the back of his goal of the season win for the strike against Celtic last year, but you don't need to force them at this stage, Mark. He's just on. That is ambitious, to say the least.
Well, that's just trying to make an impact as early as possible. He's only been on a minute, and you're thinking, just keep the ball ticking along. He's obviously got other ideas, believes in his ability, and tries to put it in the top corner from 30 yards. It's
that feeling of being frustrating afternoon for Rangers, and it's all down to Hearts. I think Hearts have been excellent tactically as well, but that would frustrate the life out of a manager, putting a substitute on and going and doing that.
Well, it's not really settled down the second half yet. Here do come Rangers, and this might be an opportunity here for Scott Wright. His ball's not great, but we know the second ball can fall, and it does to Yilmaz, and it takes a deflection. It's going to be a corner.
That was a swinger with the right leg.
I thought it was poor from Scott Wright, though. I think when you get your winger inside the box, you expect better quality. Just kind of hits and hopes that back, and Yilmaz, I don't think he was even convinced that was going to trouble. But what they've got is a corner kick. I'm looking at the Rangers wide men. One of Hugh or Daz touched there. They're so narrow, and they're allowing Tavernier to hug the touchline. They're allowing Yilmaz to get out wide. I think that's easy to defend against for Hearts so far.
Well, let's see what this corner can produce for Rangers. Ben Davies is up. He's looking for it. James Tavernier going to swing it in with that right boot, and it was a wicked delivery. It took it.
I think that's a great ball.
Smart defending from Lawrence Shankland at the front post.
That's a super ball in. It causes problems there, but Shankland, obviously you'll always have a man in that front post to block that.
Yeah, it's almost just in the inside him as well, but he just gets enough to turn it away. Another opportunity for Tavernier.
Oh, it's another great ball. Lawrence Shankland again, is it? And I think he's did he head it onto his own crossbar?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good delivery, so dangerous. It's going right into it, and brilliant defending from Lawrence Shankland.
He just
goes over the bar. Goes over the bar.
But great, you're right. Two things there. Terrific ball in for Tavernier, and that is fantastic defending. That's what the captain's there for.
I was going to mention, you'd think they'd put someone right in front of him.
Yeah,
Shankland have put Davies right in front of him now, so Tavernier just needs to deliver the same way, and he's got Davies there just to flick it on.
3 in a row. Tavernier right onto the head of Lawrence Shankland.
Throw in now.
This one goes for a throw in. Shankland will
get a big old head on him, no Lawrence, isn't he? At that front post area. Big forehead on it.
I don't want to keep doing that over and over.
Especially if you're a centre.
Ball in.
It somehow stayed out. Rangers within inches of taking the lead at Tynecastle.
Is that hit the bar and post?
We'll let the play break down, and then we'll try and dissect it a bit more, because that was extremely close. And now here goes Vargas up the other end, again in behind Ben Davies, but Davies does well, stands up to him this time and clears the ball away to Diamandi, who's lost out to Cammy Devlin. This is frantic stuff. Let's wait. Rangers with a huge chance, but now they're defending. It hits, was it bar and post, the combination of both?
Somehow doesn't go in. Stayed out. It's incredible. Was it Dessers at the back post?
Yeah.
How that has stayed out the net is unbelievable. And even the camera goes on Dessers, and he can't believe it either. So Hearts riding their luck a little bit there, as Taylor, our man, is just going to launch this into the Rangers penalty area.
Oh, it's an absolute missile of a throw in, and it's going to fall Grant's way into the box. No, Scott Wright takes it off his toe, and a bit scrappy at the edge of the Rangers box. Barry Mackay tries to keep it alive. He's looking to dance his way in.
Brilliant.
Opening for Hearts, flashed across, cleared away.
Good defending that.
Not done yet though. I think it's Devlin who's going to stand one up. And John Souttar and Jack Butland get themselves in a pickle. There's a Hearts player down in the box, but it's not going to be any decision really for the referee, and it's a long ball over the top again from Rangers. This really is, it's brilliant stuff. Is that going to be a high boot from Kai Rolls?
Yeah.
I think it is. Free kick to Rangers. Booking for Rolls.
I don't know why Rolls doesn't go with his head there. He's never getting there with his boot, but it's end-to-end stuff again, and we've not been disappointed in this second period at all. It's been breathless stuff. A good opportunity from Hearts, cut back, well defended, Yeah, just seen Devlin as, again when Diamande just going down.
Here's his chance.
So here's the Rangers' chance.
Oh,
It's unbelievable. Dessers does
brilliant.
Well to get in front of Kai Rolls. He's stronger. He heads it. Do you know what? It flicks up off Kai Rolls' head, hits the bar, comes down, hits the post somehow, and away it goes.
I think that's the only thing that keeps out the back of net is the deflection.
And there we are. For all Rangers fans might be frustrated with the performance, that's the closest we've come to an opener for sure.
For the first time in the match, I'm beginning to get the feeling that Rangers are becoming the dominant side and look likelier to score.
Actually, just genuinely, this has just dawned on me. Although I've been fanboying him all day as Gerard Taylor's about to cross it, and I've just remembered I've got him in my fantasy team.
Oh, it's a great.
You've done well then.
Yeah, well, he's not produced anything yet, but
I've got him as my player of the year.
The signs are good. Yilmaz does well.
I will do
occasion.
one again next door.
Dessers gives the thumbs up. He's not put off by that missed opportunity. It was a great ball in. Was it Tom Lawrence?
Tom Lawrence, yeah.
And do you know, fair play to Rolls, Gordon, because initially he's been done by Dessers, but he's just in a position where you need to take those rubs of the green, hits off the back of his head, and it's just enough to send it onto the crossbar.
I think that obviously what saves Hearts there from going behind. I think Dessers does everything right as a centre forward. He's timing, he's strong, he's getting the header on target. It's a great ball in, but as you say, the defender reacts and gets that little bit of luck that sometimes you need.
Rangers trying to launch something from right back, but Vargas does well to stay with Tavernier, who can't find the pass, and then Barron showing good strength, tidy from him as it slipped towards Dessers and Matondo. Neither of them can really get there.
Well, I repeat, I think Hearts are beginning to look a little subdued by Rangers.
How stretched are Rangers though? And fair play, Davies. Vargas. He just can't quite find his feet. It's incredible.
Still got it.
He's in the box with all the space. Here's
Right,
Danda,
man.
and it's deflected by for a throw in.
Well, Ben Davies, I'll be delighted to see the back of Vargas because he's getting so exposed though. Yilmaz is so far up the pitch, he's leaving a big gap for Vargas just to get down the side of Davies.
But somehow,
I know, but you've got to defend
somehow
better than
though,
that.
Vargas does let him back in a couple of times, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's always the case with Vargas. I think if he had that cutting edge and that drive to go forward, he maybe wouldn't be at Hearts. He's got pace, he's got strength, but he does give defenders an opportunity to get back in.
There's another Taylor long throw. Rangers defend it really well though, get up high, and Taylor and Matondo, it's just goes the way of Rangers on the initial instance. It's a very nice flick.
That's a great game this.
From
It's a great 0-0 so
George
far.
Grant and Danda just working a series of 1-2s before Barron comes in and does what he's there to do, tidy up some mess, but the mess is added to then by, I think, Tom Lawrence, who's slack.
Yeah, he gets caught in the ball, Gordon. He's a man coming again. That's what
Might be offside. Danda, he just tried to hold his run, and in the end he chips one. That's going to be an easy take for Jack Butland.
It's good, it's just on the
Flagging
edge.
it up again, Hugh.
Just
Flagging
on
it
the
up
edge,
again.
And as usual, first
there
down
we
is
go.
so crucial.
It's better from Matondo. He's done what Cortez couldn't and sat down Gerald Taylor. And now come Rangers on the other side with Scott Wright is cut back. Lawrence steps over it, hoping Diamande would take a shot at goal. And that might just be a good sign for Rangers because they've got nothing out of Taylor all afternoon. But this time he fell over and Matondo was able to come up the pitch. And he actually looks like he's in a bit of discomfort, Gerald Taylor. That would be a good sign for Rangers and a bad one for Stephen Naismith. He's down.
Because he's certainly been excellent this afternoon. But I look at Rangers there, Diamande getting the ball at the edge of the box. He's looking left. He's got no one that Yilmaz has stayed back. He's got no one wide. He can only go one way.
Free kick to Rangers. Hearts feel hard done by.
I would tend to agree. It's a bit soft. He did have his jersey, but is it enough for Yilmaz to get down? Yeah, he's struggling a little bit.
Taylor is struggling. He's been one of the standout performers of the game so far, and he might not see beyond the hour mark.
I think he hurt his back in the first half.
He's winded.
It's a bit.
We've all been there.
And on comes Cherney for a Rangers debut.
Must be for Scott Wright and Balogun. I said Balogun. I'm very surprised that wasn't made at half time, because I think that Vargas with a little bit more composure could have caused Rangers a lot more problems.
Well, more on Cherney when he does come on, because that's an interesting signing and the Rangers fans are keen to see him. But a free kick first that Yilmaz is going to deliver with that left foot. Going to be an outswinger. Dessers is loitering right on the line. It looks a good delivery. It's nicked away. Excellent defending from Hearts. They're hoping a flag goes up, but it doesn't. And Tom Lawrence skips away from Barry Mackay, goes down, and it's another free kick.
Does well there, Lawrence, to keep it in, because you just see players letting that run out, but sprints, keeps it in, works his feet well, and gets another free kick that will go right on top of this Hearts back line. Good period this for Rangers.
Yeah, you get the feeling the goal's coming here.
Oh, we're not getting this game finished without a goal, Hugh. Let me just clarify that right now.
So Leon Balogun is going to enter the field of play for Ben Davies.
Not surprised. He's been poor this afternoon.
I mean, you swap centre backs with an hour gone.
I'd have swapped it at 45.
But it's not a great.
It's a message for Ben Davies.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You just don't really do it this early, do you? Unless it's performance related. And Scott right off Václav Černý.
First day of the season, first hour of the game. Nah, that tells Ben Davies that his performance was substandard.
Again, we'll analyse those in a bit more detail once the free kick passes, because it's going to be Tavernier with it. He just wraps his foot around it, well headed away by Devlin. Lawrence strikes one,
what an
tipped
effort
over the bar from Xander Clark. An outstanding effort from Tom Lawrence, because it looked almost behind him on the volley. It didn't look like an easy one to take, but he does it and it's saved well.
It's a great first touch, sets it up for himself and then gets side on, technique brilliant, and it's a decent save from Xander Clark. You'd expect him to make it, but a good save nevertheless.
It could have caught him out though, because you almost didn't expect Lawrence to get such a clean connection on it. Yilmaz this time with the corner, evades everyone.
I tell you what, he has got to connect. Is it Diamandi? Got to score.
Yeah, big chance.
Got to score. If he puts his head on this, it's a goal.
Yeah, chance for Rangers. What do you make of those substitutions then, Gordon? Interesting for a debut for Černý.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with the substitutions, and I know that you can look at probably the one at the centre back, you know, after 60 minutes taking off one of your centre backs. I would have made that substitution at half time. Scott Wright has offered absolutely nothing, let's be honest about it. So I'm not surprised that the Rangers manager's seen enough, decided that's it. He's now got 3 substitutions on this pitch after 60 minutes. He'll be hoping they make a difference.
Jan Danda just attacking for Hearts. The Rabona cross.
I like that.
He gets good purchase on it, but it goes to a Rangers defender in the end. I think that's Dessers who's fallen over the ball. That will frustrate Rangers fans so much, because he came to try and hold it up and then down on that side again. James Tavernier somehow recovers. It looked like he had been beaten. It's just very frantic, no pause for thought really. The Rangers skipper comes back, Barron does well, and it's just going to be a throw and scrap.
Free kick.
I think Gordon, of all the positive things that Hearts have done, they've done a lot in this game. The quietest Shankland probably out the lot. We've spoke about Vargas and Danda and Taylor, and you know, Mackay's even had efforts, but Shankland's been really quiet this afternoon. He is playing a wee bit deeper, allowing Vargas to go straight up top. The
introduction of Václav Černý is an interesting one, because in profile he's the biggest profile of Rangers signings. Philippe Clement said, you know, they can only get him on loan basically, because they couldn't afford a player like that. A Czech international, featured at the Euros, parent club Wolfsburg, you know, scored at Celtic Park, didn't he, as a youngster at Ajax, and he's been at some big clubs, and he's one that the Rangers fans are excited about. So whether he's up to, well, you have to assume he's not up to speed yet, hence why he didn't start the game, but they'll be keen to get a look at him today.
Yeah, and I think that if they can get something here at Tynecastle, the positive is they've got him on there. Difficult ground, it's a good pace to the game, so it'll do the guy the world of good, you know, hitting the ground running here. But it's only good if they can get out of Tynecastle with 3 points under their belt. But I think the Rangers fans are excited to see what he brings. He's obviously, and I'm not being disrespectful, but he's obviously a lot better than what Scott Wright's going to offer Rangers. But you've got to get him on the ball.
Hearts, I think, are going to make their first change in the form of Blair Spittle, another summer recruit, one of the pre-contracts, again in the same mould as Danda and Penrice.
Well, he's got in his locker to get a goal, you've got to say, and created a terrific season last season with Motherwell. So it'll be interesting to see what he brings.
Černý slides one down the line, but it's a foul by Diamandi.
And a booking.
A booking.
Yeah, that's a bit harsh, I think, unless it's for persistent.
You remember him having many more?
Yeah, one or two, Mark, I've got to say. I was tallying them up there on my sheet. Look, he might even get booked a yellow for that.
That is it.
Yeah, I thought it was for maybe sort of a few niggly ones that Walsh let him away with you and then decided no, enough's enough. But that is a yellow.
Dander off.
Yeah. Not surprised with that.
There has been a school of thought over the summer that it will be one or the other out of those two. Some people might say, well, why did you sign both? How do you fit them both into this team, Danda and Spittle? But Hearts need that squad. They need that depth. They're going to be in European football, and that's impressive depth then if you can make that change.
Yeah, two that shone in our league last season for different clubs. Like, you've got to think, where do you fit both of them into that side and the structure that you play? I don't think you can actually. So, good management from Stephen Naismith. He's got two good creative players there from set pieces and open play who can score you a goal. Yeah.
For me, I know Mark will disagree. I think Spittle just edges it for me. There's a good case for both, but I think Spittle's just got that little extra spark for me.
I think in terms of output last season, it was so impressive, the numbers that he put up in it. Let's be honest, a Motherwell team who obviously didn't enjoy a wonderful season, played a big part in Theo Bair's £1 million move. I wonder if he got a cut. But Blair Spittle, 13 goals for Motherwell last season, some of them spectacular, really spectacular last season, wasn't he, at times?
Yeah, outstanding.
Terrific. He's just become a better player. He's got everything in his locker for me. I like Danda as well, because you've got to say he played a big part in Ross County, who were struggling as well. So he's got a lot to offer, but Spittle just edges it for me.
If he's got everything in his locker, then he's got a quarter of the game in which to demonstrate that to the crowd, because the game is now on a knife edge. I think one goal will do it either way.
Did score at Tynecastle, incidentally, for
Spittle.
Motherwell last season, just the one.
Well, I'll be hoping he can get off to his Hearts career this season with probably the winner who would make him an instant hero. But I agree with you. I think this game deserves a goal. I've really enjoyed over an hour of it so far. I think it's been a good opening game of the season, but I'd just like to see a goal.
Well, there is Cherney coming in on his left foot from the right hand side, trying to make something happen. It's spread out to Yilmaz. He just goes first time, and it won't quite go out off Taylor, I don't think. He just scoops it up and volleys it up the pitch. Well, I say up the pitch, not very far. It might just fall for Rangers come the edge of the box here if they can get the footwork right. Cherney just dips a toe in row. Vargas might be in behind. John Souttar here, who does brilliantly.
He does extremely well there, Souttar.
He's a lot quicker than Ben Davies, who's
a lot stronger
running against Vargas. I thought Vargas was in mark and he had the full half to run into.
Yeah, it was a clever turn from him, but if that's against Davies, you're totally right. He's got that. He's in the end of it and he's bearing down in Butland's goal, but Souttar can cover the ground pretty quickly and does well to defend the situation.
Looks like Vargas might be done.
Yeah, I wonder if he's had enough physically. He's put a lot in and he's just gone down in a bit of discomfort.
They've got good options in the bench, Hearts. They've built a good squad this season. They'll be expecting a lot.
It's a good ball, but it's
too high.
A fraction too high for Cyril Dessers, but it's not actually clear yet. And eventually Hearts try and work it out, and they make life hard for themselves though. Nice footwork from Cherney. Finds Tavernier again, just stabs one, and Blair Spittle is going to volley it up the pitch. Just safety first.
Yeah, Devlin just putting his teammate under a load of pressure there. Didn't need to. You don't want to lose the ball at the edge of your own box. Rangers will punish you, but better from Tavernier, just taking the touch, getting it out his feet, putting it in, what he's known for. Just a bit high though for Dessers.
Yeah, this is better from Rangers, enjoying a good spell, but a terrific challenge from Grant. And Hearts aren't out of it by any means. Here they go, 3-on-3. Although there are two Rangers defenders, midfielders coming back, sorry. So you do the numbers. Here's Lawrence Shankland. He's not had many opportunities today, and it's just saved by the legs of Jack Butland that almost wriggled under him.
I think the angle was always working against Shankland. Every touch took him a bit wider. Did well.
It sort of sums him up though. He still dug more out of that than you expected him to.
Well, than most strikers would, but he does well to feint a shot.
Could he have hit it earlier?
I think so.
I thought but I think Balogun's covering them, and then he gets wider. He's wide of the 6-yard box, and Butland.
He's never got unless Butland goes under his legs. He's never scored for there. But
it very nearly does.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I think Shankland maybe should have just hit that a little bit earlier. Good opportunity for Hearts. Shows you there's still a danger, but one or two, I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, that's George Grant now as well, so they might have a few issues.
One or two look like they're needing to change their batteries. They've gone a little bit. I think they need freshened up. That's why you've got such a big squad. And to be fair, we've highlighted it. Hearts have got good players in the squad, good players on the bench that can come on and change games.
Yeah, I wonder who else they would turn to.
Vargas finished, is he?
Boyce is there, isn't he? He can get a goal for you.
A very, very different player, so they'd have to reshuffle something. Is Alan Forrest, I take it?
Forrest
he's on the bench.
He can give you that pace as well and trickery.
Yeah, he's just getting a pep talk from Stephen Naismith. Kenneth Vargas, I think Stephen Naismith looks like he feels Vargas isn't finished yet, and he's almost telling him that, isn't he?
Another five.
But he's been terrific today. I mean, the only thing I would question is his decision making once he gets into those good positions, that he just gives people an opportunity to get back, or he tends not to go direct for goal when sometimes you think that's the easiest option. He's always looking for another way out. That would take him to the next level, there's no doubt about that.
It's incredible, that possession stat at the bottom of the screen there. 61% Rangers.
Doesn't feel like that.
No, I've got to say, but all credit. I think it's been a good second half as well. Rangers, I think Matondo's starting to cause a little bit of
this
problems.
is lovely from Matondo,
but just that extra touch,
bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah, very good from the winger there.
Some things won't change you from season to season.
No.
Possession's only good if you can do something with it.
Exactly.
And it's not quite happened yet for Rangers. They've had opportunities, but they'll still be looking for more in this last, 20 minutes.
Well, possession without penetration, as it says in the dressing room wall, is no good at all. But Rangers, for me, have had a better second half. First half there were real cause for concerns all over the place, but they're a better looking team now. And
every dressing room wall, what dressing room walls? Come on, we're desperate to ask.
Any dressing wall. Penetration, possession without penetration.
He's going to go and write it on all dressing room walls.
He's never been in a dressing room in his life.
Diamande, don't get me wrong, that's not a booking, Mark, but he's on one and he's just committed a foul. Just wonder if he has to tread slightly carefully.
Yeah, and one or two more of them, they're fresh on Nick Walsh's head, then you're in trouble. So needs to watch what he's doing.
Yeah, anyway, it probably Hearts would have enjoyed it, if you like. It took the heat off a little bit as he committed that foul, I think, on Cammy Devlin.
Oh, could we get a long throw here? I'm a bit disappointed.
I think his arms are tired.
I'm a bit disappointed. He's got cramped in his arms. They've went short. Yeah.
That's space to do so. I suppose sometimes when everyone backs off because they expect you to throw it in
long, you can just go and play.
There is some scope.
There's going to be a deep sense of despair.
It's a nice ball. Hearts just can't quite get on the edge of it, but it's spilled. And it's deflected. Jack Butland came and couldn't get there. Hearts had a big chance to open the scoring, but there was just enough bodies in the way to get the block in.
Is it just me, or is it Butland's looked a bit shaky today for me? Is it just we hold him in such high standards? The communication between him and defenders at times hasn't been that great.
Yeah, well, it was certainly a mess there from the Rangers backline. It was a decent ball, decent run forward, but you just, for all you thought that Butland would come and take it, and it'd be an easy take from him.
Good play with Rangers.
Far from it.
Great tackle from Gerard
Free
Taylor.
kick.
Not in the eyes of Nick Walsh. I thought he had nicked the ball, I have to say. Maybe I'm just biased towards this guy already, but anyway.
You're going out to buy his strip, isn't it? That's a
spot
fair
on, Gordon.
That's
spot on. It's a great tackle.
I'm a fair man. That was not a foul. But anyway, Czerny step overs, comes inside, deflected. One of those that can draw a foul. Diamande now looks like he's taking a bit of a knock. Great play. James Tavernier got his body back in. The cross is there and it just skips over. It might have touched the Hearts player on the way. Nick Walsh isn't sure.
He doesn't know. It's whoever gets the ball first.
No,
That's a guessing game.
Yeah. But we're just going to see this Jack Butland. It's a good run forward. Balogun's over there covering. Balogun just takes a nick before Butland goes to take it. So maybe we were being a wee bit harsh on the Rangers goalkeeper.
Can Spittle do better? Are you expecting him to bring that down?
I'm expecting him to maybe look up and see that someone's standing. I don't know if it's Mackay or Shankland in the.
I mean the initial ball over his shoulder.
Oh, but yeah. Well, you've got a point there. It's a good run from him. Surely we're going to get a goal. We can't have a 0-0.
Well, Hearts are trying to come forward. They've got a throw in.
Whoever loses that goal, Dazzler, I think would be very disappointed, because both sides have had an immense number of chances to win this. So if you're the one that loses the goal, then you're only yourself to blame.
And he's shaping up like he's going to throw this in, but
he
now
can't throw it from there.
I think
he can.
He's at Easter Road.
They've got Balogun on, who may be able to deal with this a bit better than Davies.
That's in Princess Street.
There we go.
You can force them too much because that's so long. There's not even that many bodies there. That Balogun's always favourite to just come and win that, isn't he?
Taxi driver would charge you a boundary for that.
Here he goes again. He can throw the wee low one, the wee burner.
He's got a lot in his locker, this boy.
It's like you with your 4-iron.
Oh yeah, a wee driller.
So where did they come from, Taylor?
Costa Rica.
But was he playing for a Spanish club before, or did they come direct from Costa Rica?
No, it was a Costa Rican club, Deportivo Saprissa.
Ah, okay. Well, he's a good find so far. 75
Here
minutes
he comes
in.
again.
It kind of shows you all that stuff about if you bring players from those types of markets, it takes a while to settle in and all that stuff.
Well, he's been brilliant this afternoon.
Not showing it yet, but anyway. Here come Barry Mackay, strikes it. It's just blocked though, and it's going to trickle ever so slowly out for a corner.
I'm surprised that Hearts haven't brought on someone like Forrest, just to give them that little bit more energy and a bit more pace and direct.
He's been quiet. Mackay's been quiet.
Very much so. Very much so. Especially second half, Mark.
He's probably an interesting, not a crossroads as such in his Hearts career, but there was a lot of promise. There has been long injury. It's been a while since they saw the best of him. So probably a real important start to the season. He's got the nod to start today, but he'll need to bear in mind the competition. Hold on, he's about to whip in a corner, and it's not a bad ball at all. And it's deflected over his own bar by James Tavernier, who knew very little about it.
He gets away with that there, because it's a good corner, good first contact from Hearts, and Tavernier's 3 yards out, right in the middle of his own goal, doesn't know much about it. Somehow it goes over.
29-year-old Barry Mackay is about to whip in.
Still got a lot.
Another corner, out swinging. It's another decent delivery, but Rangers defend it well. Shankland's there, stands one up to Jack Butland.
Well, still going end to end. When we thought Rangers were taking control, Hearts have found their way again in the second half.
Yeah, I actually thought Rangers might be in there, but that's the trick of the TV cameras not showing the full picture. Is it actually a free kick to Rangers, is it? You're just saying that Tavernier.
He knows nothing about that at all. Stephen Naismith is fuming that doesn't find the back of the net, and Rangers get away with it there. There we go. Mackay off. 29-year-old Barry Mackay off.
Alan Forrest on
fire, innit?
Yeah,
I know the game inside it.
Hibs have just announced a signing, incidentally. The Edinburgh clubs are at it. Malachi Boateng announced for Hearts earlier before this game. You'll remember him from having been on loan at Dundee last season. And Miko Kuharevich back at Hibs. Remember he was there a while ago? No, you're both looking
I do.
Is he centre forward?
Yes, Ukrainian striker.
Yeah, I remember him.
Good. We've got a handful, as they say. He's back in a Hibs jersey, so we'll get back to them in the not too distant future. Cherney tries to link up with Tavernier.
Well done, Forrest.
But Forrest tracks back well.
That's the last thing you want when you just come on.
No.
A 70-yard run back to slide tackle.
Is that going to be a high foot against John Suter? It is. A kind of frustrating one. You'll see them all season where some will be given, some won't. It's because it is high, so you can't really but he's just kind of he's just cleared the ball, really, hasn't he?
I don't think there's as much. I don't know what he's supposed to do there. I
change my mind on those all the time, to be fair. I'll just sit.
I thought he was a little bit unlucky in that one, I've got to say.
It's almost like the rule allows you, though, because it is a high boot, undeniably. So Anyway, free kick to Hearts. It's deep. It's going to have to be some ball from Blair Spittle, or maybe just that second ball.
Well, he's got a good delivery, you've got to say.
See where it falls. It does look like it's in a good area, but Balogun just defends it so well. He's been a welcome addition to the back line since he came on.
It's made them better, no doubt about it.
Stronger. You have to wonder though, how on earth do you go with Ben Davies in preference to him from the outset?
I agree. And even at the tail end of last season, when Balogun was fit, I thought he looked strong. I thought he looked the better one out of them all.
Corner Hearts. Blair Spittle on corner duty now. See what he can come up with.
That's
looks a decent ball. Who knows who that came off last, but it's fallen to Lawrence Shankland.
Great touch.
He made that look easy, didn't he?
Super touch.
He's just trying. He's forcing the shooting opportunity, and it's deflected for a corner. But that's the thing though, to be fair, we're all coming round to it slowly but surely, but Lawrence Shankland is a much better footballer than people gave him credit for until semi-recently. It's not just about scoring goals. You look at the variety of his goals last season, and some of his touches, even when he came on briefly for Scotland at the Euros, you could see it. So let's see what they can come up with from Spittle's corner. It's another good ball. Rangers have stood up and defended these well though. A fresh air swipe from Alan Forrest.
His leg nearly fell off here.
Winston.
I hated day ones. You put everything in it and you miss the ball.
It's come back in again to the back post. Shankland gets round there, but Diamande, and I think
here your chance here.
Because Cammy Devlin knows he's
trying
to bring Matondo down, and he can't even manage that. And now Rangers might have a chance to regain with Barron.
Yeah, what they done well there, Hearts. They got numbers back, so it wasn't a 1v1. They're not out the woods yet.
Yeah, it's just down in that corner.
Throwing Rangers.
Battle, throwing Rangers.
Throwing Hearts.
Throwing Hearts. Diamande can't believe it.
I can't believe that. That's a bad decision. I would like to see that again, but I'm sure that was a Rangers throw-in.
Matondo's made Rangers look more a threat, you've got to say, when he's come on. He is unpredictable, but more of a threat, certainly.
Kieran Dowell is coming on to try and produce something for Rangers, I think.
Tom Lawrence?
Yeah, you'd have to say. An underwhelming first season would be fair. He was injured like they all were, but not quite the impact that many people hoped he would have.
He'll end up scoring the winner.
There's every chance.
So he's brought on for Hugh.
Yep. Brought his name out of Tombola, and there you are.
It's better from Hearts, just linking up and trying to get them up the pitch. But the difference. What a pass back that is from John Souttar. Almost goes out for a corner, but Jack Butland does brilliantly.
Yeah, nice and calm from the Rangers goalkeeper there. He's always working away from his goal as he's been pressed.
You know, we've had all the thrills and spills, and we've got 8 minutes of regulation time to go. It's going to take, well, that's a terrible ball from Balogun right out the park. I was about to say it's going to take one moment of composure, and that's the game done.
Or a mistake, Hugh.
Yeah.
You know, a bad decision, a bad mistake,
Look,
a wonder goal.
We can maybe hold these conversations for another 10 minutes or so, but over the course of a season, a 0-0 draw at Tynecastle might not. It's not a dreadful result, but you want to start the season on the front foot. Hugh's old statement that we all know, and yes, Celtic and Rangers are expected to win every game. So we'll see what happens in the next 10 minutes, and if it stays this way, we will see what the outcome is. Fallout, shall we say.
I would repeat that no matter what happens, it has been excellent entertainment.
Yeah, we might get a winner yet. So Dowell on to replace Barron. No real composure from Kai Rolls there. I don't think he had to lash that up the pitch first time, but it's a throw in on the halfway line to Hearts.
Well, just be getting to the stage now. Players will be tired, you know. Decision making maybe goes askew a bit. You know, you're just saying there about Rolls earlier on in the game. He would have taken that down and passed it out, but that just might be where you get a chance. And there will be other opportunities in the closing 7 minutes of regulation time here, no doubt about it. It's who can take them though.
Yeah, and maybe a chance for someone else to have a
free kick. Rangers, Hearts.
A heroes say off the bench. George Grant challenged in the air by Tom Lawrence. Are you surprised? Would you have taken him off rather than Conor Barron?
Yeah, I don't think he's offered anything really.
Well, Hearts are now Really going for it. 3 changes. That's great for us to keep up with in the last stages of the game.
But Spittle's got an opportunity here. A lot of space in behind that Rangers back line to the penalty spot, in between
I would
them
just
and Jack
drop it in
Butland.
behind the.
Just play it down the side there for Shankland.
Yeah,
You
all
see
day
him?
long.
Yeah, what a space.
Oh,
When they train him off,
Can't believe
taking Taylor off.
Just so we can get you standing ovation.
Yeah, he's got to be man of the match, isn't he?
Gerald Taylor, Hearts' new signing's been excellent. He's gone off. George Grant off. Kenneth Vargas off. Oyugoke comes on. Yutaro Oda and Malachi Boateng, just signed this morning, or announced this morning, comes on. You'll remember, was it Scott Sinclair who was just signed and then came on and scored
signed
the winner?
Signed the day before. Yeah.
So triple change for Hearts.
Let me ask you, as former managers, a triple change, 5 minutes to go. Is that a danger of confusion?
Nah, I like it. I think that first game of the season, you need a hero, and it's obviously got to come from the bench if you're going to get that. And you put 3 players on. You've obviously looked at the players that you've taken off. Bit of tiredness that could cause you a goal, Hugh. I like that. I think that's a positive move for me, especially nowadays. In my day, we only had 2 subs to put on, so you had to really time it. But I quite like that.
Well, there we go. What an introduction for Malachi Boateng, who just signed, or it was certainly announced this morning. What time was that at? I'm trying to remember when we read it. I think it was after 11 o'clock this morning. It was announced, and on he comes. And it's actually for anyone who assumed, because he was on loan from Crystal Palace to Dundee last season, but it's a 3-year deal. It's a
permanent, yeah.
3-year undisclosed fee at the bottom. That's a big signing for Hearts.
You've got to say the Hearts board have really backed the manager. You know, he's went out there, he done a lot of business early, Danda and Spittle in very quickly. He's added to the squad. He's got good options now in the bench. I think Hearts fans will be expecting a big season from Hearts.
And of course he was on loan at Queen's Park the season before, I think, so he knows Scottish football. And now he's going to play in the capital for Hearts, who might be frustrated. They thought the ball had gone out of play.
Looked it.
Yeah, it did look it as well, Hugh. Yeah.
They were allowed to continue, and there's an interesting diagonal on here, but James Tavernier can't get round behind. Hearts do defend it for now.
Sometimes it's better just letting that go out of your forest.
Oh, it's a good ball, back post. It was hacked off the line by Kai Rolls. I think Matondo was almost just trying to put it back across the face.
I think he was looking for Dessers,
but it still caused a bit of uncertainty, and I think Kai Rolls in the end blasts it clear.
Hearts get away with one there. As I say, Forrest should have let that go out. He gives it back to Rangers, cross into the box, and if it was Matondo, put it back across, puts it back into a good area. Can't do much else with that. He just needs someone to be in there and tap it in.
Anybody's game now.
Yeah, it really is. Yilmaz the latest to try. All of Rangers' attacks really have been sort of long crosses into the box or long balls over the top, but that doesn't mean it can't work between now and the end of the season. End of the game, sorry. Let's not worry about the end of the season just yet.
Yeah, I wonder what Rangers fans think of the style. The result, like you said, at 0-0 at Tynecastle's, it's not the worst, but the style, I think when you work in things and you get a manager in mid-season, you think pre-season is going to be transformative for you. You think you're going to come out in day one, you go, wow, I like the way my team played today. Been very much the same as what we've seen for large periods last season.
Hearts are creating their own problems here. They keep giving the ball back to Rangers. Cross.
Just flicked away by Kai Rolls with Dessers lurking in behind.
Rangers look the stronger here.
Should we read some? Can you read something into the fitness or sharpness of Danilo and that he's not been introduced yet?
I was just going to ask that question.
Are you seen enough from Dessers?
I think he's just hoping that Dessers has been roundabout. You know, he's had a couple of chances.
Here goes Tierney. First time we've seen him manage to try to wriggle into the box, and he finds Dessers, who turns, tries to go back with the back heel to Tierney. Can't find him, but everyone almost inside the Hearts penalty box here, and they have to be careful. It's a great touch from Yilmaz. He just stands one up, cleared away. It's a breathless end to this one.
Yilmaz does fantastic there. Hey, he deserves
better.
Chance here
for Hearts to break.
Here go Hearts. The decision has to be a good one, and it wasn't. It was not. That was a chance to really break there for Hearts.
Yeah. It's End to end now, both teams trying to go for it, especially Rangers. I think they're finishing the stronger.
The basketball match now.
Yeah, but I think you make a good point here. The 3 subs for Hearts have had a negative effect over the last couple of minutes, and sometimes that can happen. You're a wee bit disjointed, you're not up to the speed of the game. Rangers starting to build a head of steam up, and you could get pinned in easily when that's the case.
Well, it's going to be a nervy end. I wonder if actually is a draw about fair.
Yes,
everyone was
I think
excited.
Rangers have been the better in the second half. I've got to say, I think Hearts dominated most of the first, but Rangers have gradually grown into the game. I think Clement's substitutions have been good. Balogun's come on, made a difference. Tierney in the right hand side looks really neat and tidy for me once he settles into this team.
Well, we don't even know if it's going to be a draw yet. Maybe we are getting ahead of ourselves because there's a throw in on that far side. We're ticking towards the 90, so we've not seen the board yet. There's not been loads of delays, but you would still expect a few minutes, as is the case normally at the end of games these days. Just really substitutions, not really had anything to delay us. It's a quick thinking throw in, but Tierney, maybe it's that rust. He probably would look to have brought that down more effectively, but it goes out for a goal kick.
Don't know if he was
5 minutes. There
5
you
minutes
are.
added on.
Yeah,
I have to say it almost feels like that's just standard now, isn't it? Because there's not been much. Cortez, did his injury take a particularly long time? Can't remember, but there we go. Feels like a long time ago now. As you see reruns of the chance. I've probably been a bit dramatic when I say Rolls cleared it off the line. Not quite. He was a bit in front of the line, and it was more of a, like we said, a ball across the face rather than an attempt at goal by Rabbi Matondo.
He's not the most composed under pressure for me, Kyle Rolls. But here's Hearts.
Oh, good ball into a dangerous area.
He's not. It's still there though. There's Shankland, and it's taken off his toes. Can Forrest get a shot away? He can't. That's a huge chance. I can't believe no effective shot came out of that. They had 3 bites at it, Hearts, and they'll be kicking themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I thought Oda was going to take the shot on first, then Shankland, and then Forrest, and it all just took too long. Wouldn't sit for them.
Can't believe, Gordon, that didn't even develop into, a chance for Hearts there when it really, really should have.
Yeah. I think that's what's happened to Hearts this afternoon. I think they've got themselves, especially in the final third, into good positions, and decision making or whatever it may be, they've just not capitalised at all. And they've let Rangers off the hook there. That was a terrific opportunity.
It looked like Rangers would be the one pressing for the winner, Hugh. Stephen Naismith's head in his hands. He can't believe that didn't come to anything.
I know. As soon as the 5 went up, though, I did have the feeling that both teams have a tremendous chance here to score the one and only goal of the game. And that was a terrific chance for Hearts. It's going to go this way. We've got 3 minutes of time added on to go, and it's going to go end to end for those 3 minutes.
I think the thing that will frustrate is that when it comes to Forrest, Mark, he's the one that actually tries to shoot, but the connection is minimal. We joked about the fresh air swipe a couple of moments ago, but he proper drags it, doesn't get anything on it whatsoever.
Last chance of the game maybe here.
That's a good play from Hearts as well.
Shankland just overdoing it. Demande knows what he's doing, just gets his body in front. Again, it's wasteful from Hearts. There's 92.5, and they might be in bother here because here come Rangers with Tierney. Hearts need to stop him, get into the box, and they do. Can Cammy Devlin show some composure?
No composure at all
from Devlin and from Tavernier.
Is anyone going to put their foot in the ball and try and win this thing? That's awful from Hearts to give it away. The game
tiredness creeping in here with these players.
Got to have a clear head and just try.
That's great play as well from Tavernier again.
Just calm down, everybody. I know it's the end of the game, but
too long. Yeah. So that 60 seconds there, just delete that 60 seconds from existing, because it's been a great watch, this end to end for a 0-0, but that is just so sloppy from both teams there.
Aim to get a prediction.
I did say a draw, didn't I?
Just you wait, it's not over yet. About a minute and a half.
I said a draw. Not much between.
You can't claim that, mate.
It's not over yet. It is not over yet. Tierney gives it away. I think he's going to be penalised for a free kick. Hearts have got one chance here to get this up the pitch. There is just over a minute left. They've got a free kick in their own half. Are they going to give it a go?
Well, no other option. this may be the last chance of the game, and so far as Clermont is concerned, there's defensive work to be done. To be fair, they've been better, far better defensively second half than first, and that would not have been hard.
Alexander Clark's taking this well at his goal. He's going to launch us right on the back line of Rangers, and this will be the last opportunity, you would think.
Are we going to get first day drama? Lawrence Shankland is lurking, James Tavernier, the two captains marking each other. It's a difficult ball, it's long, you're relying on it coming back into the box if you're Hearts, and that can't happen. Boateng just battling with Diomande.
Giving away a foul.
I don't think that's a yellow card.
Certainly not.
I don't
Certainly not.
I don't think that's a yellow card for me. Could be wrong, but
Well, Ugoki it was just showing
come on,
too much for Nick Walsh's liking. I just don't get it, because it's not really the old. It's not stopping a promising attack, is it? It's not a challenge in its own.
Look, to be fair, I think the referees had a decent game, but I don't think that's a yellow.
Maybe Rangers have won finals.
Yeah, that's the last chance.
Remember, it's a minimum of 5 minutes that gets added on, and we are at the 5 now. But there will be time for this free kick, and Hearts need to make sure they clear this properly, which eventually they do, because it's going to be a goal kick. Look at the watch, and it's full time. Game 1 of season 2024-25 is over. How was it in the stadium, Gabriel?
Full time, Gordon, and it's Hearts 0, Rangers 0. Honours even between the two sides. A cracker to start the campaign, but despite big chances for both of them, the game ends as a stalemate. Hearts certainly had the better of the first 45 minutes. New boy Gerald Taylor was outstanding at right back. They had good chances for James Penrice, Lawrence Shankland and Frankie Kent, but they couldn't find the back of the net. Jan Dander rattled the crossbar. Kenneth Vargas was causing James Tavernier and Ben Davis all sorts of problems, but the final pass, the decisive moment, just didn't come. Cyril Dessers had 2 decent efforts before the interval for the visitors. He could and probably should have scored at least one. Philippe Clermont's side did improve in the second half. They made a few changes at the back and got Connor Barron on the ball a lot. He did impress on his full Rangers debut. The best chance of the game fell to Dessers at around the hour mark. Tom Lawrence put the ball in. Dessers worked well to get in front of his man, looked set to score, but his header nicked off Kyrol's head, hit the bar and the post, somehow stayed out. Lawrence had a great volleyed effort, just tipped over by Xander Clark a few moments later, and it looked like Rangers were knocking at the door. But then the Hearts came back. Butland and the Rangers defence had a few shaky moments with the ball bouncing around their box a couple of times. Rangers tried to push for a winner, but there was just no composure in the final 10 minutes from either team. It's hard to believe there wasn't a goal in the game, but in the end you would say a draw is a fair result. Taking a point off Rangers will be seen as a positive for Stephen Naismith's side, as they aim to narrow the gap between the top 2 over the rest of the campaign. Whilst for Rangers, a draw at Tynecastle is never a disaster, but it's far from the ideal start to life for Philippe Clermont and his side, who are desperate to wrestle the title back from Celtic. Now they know the reigning champions will have the chance to take a 2-point lead over them after just the opening weekend of the season. A great game to watch. The Premiership season is up and running. We hope for more of the same over the next 37 games. Full time at Tynecastle. Hearts 0, Rangers 0.
Gabriel makes the most salient point there, that it incentivises Celtic tomorrow in their home game against Clermont. Now they should need absolutely no incentives whatsoever. The flag goes up tomorrow. They're going for 4 titles in a row, and they have been outstanding pre-season. Chelsea, Man City, 7 goals scored against them. But the optics, the ever-present optics. If Celtic win tomorrow, they go 2 points clear of Rangers. They have Rangers at Celtic Park on the 1st of September. There could be an opportunity for Celtic to take an early and very positive looking lead over Rangers, but it's out of Rangers' hands now, and it's in Brendan Rodgers' hands, and they have to take advantage tomorrow.
But let's cross those bridges when we come to the mark. In terms of today's game, it's just finished. The separation of a point at Tynecastle is not the end of the world, versus Rangers fans expect and want to win every game, and there will still be some sort of backlash. We'll need to try and find a middle ground between those two. They're both true.
Yeah, without doubt. I think, look, I touched on it in the game, that the Rangers fans going along today and watching on TV would have been, again, optimistic that there would have been probably a more free-flowing style, maybe something different, tweaked tactically. Although the large amount of players there are the same group that's been there for a number of years, they may have thought Philippe Clement had something else up their sleeve. So I think they're right to be disappointed with what they saw in that respect. But a point at Tynecastle is not a bad result. You still keep a clean sheet. Okay, you've conceded a number of chances, but you still keep a clean sheet. And when you look at those games throughout a season, you're going to have tougher away games, no doubt about it. Tynecastle, along with Celtic Park, along with Pittodrie maybe this season, are going to be 3 your hard away grounds. And you've came away, kind of unscathed. No doubt you want to win every game, but it's not a disastrous start to the season. But I think Rangers fans will still look for more progression going forward in the style of play.
I agree with Mark. It's not a disaster, but it's probably disappointing for Rangers. But positives against a good Hearts side, especially first half, clean sheet. So both managers may just be quite happy just now.
Plenty of time for your reaction to that game, so give us a shout on Twitter right now. We'll open the phones when we can. What did you make of it? We've got other big games this afternoon, one more in the Premiership, some big games down the divisions as well, and we'll take a look at them and more reaction, of course, from Tynecastle next.
The Clyde One Super Scoreboard Podcast
with Lookers Volvo. The full electric range is now available on Motability.
And she's off. The corner shop is in sight. The National Lottery sign is there, and she's heading right for it. Look at Rebecca. She's making a real difference just by playing the National Lottery. Her numbers help fund Team GB and Paralympics GB athletes, powering their journey to Paris one ticket at a time. Oh, just look at her go. Unbelievable stuff. Changing lives like it's a walk to the shops.
The National Lottery, changing lives every day. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
For fans of football and unmissable shows, get Sky Sports and Sky TV in Ultra HD and Netflix all for our lowest price. Hurry, the Premier League starts soon. Go to sky.com. Require Sky Sports, Sky Ultimate TV and UHD for £43 a month on a 24-month contract with a minimum broadband speed of 25 megabits per second. New Sky TV customers only, 18 plus, terms apply.